want y'all to learn. I want us to learn more about us so you feel better about yourself. I had an inferiority complex with white people. I did. I got a room full of white people. It was natural. How many of y'all had this? You ain't got a life you don't. I did. Because white people made you feel inferior. Because the fact of the power and the respect they had, and they all just look so honest. Even they clean. You find these people be the biggest felon crooks you ever seen in your life. Biggest crooks felon you ever seen in your life. I seen that white woman the other day. I'm getting a whole lot of particulars. So they woman look like FBI. Listen, look straight like FBI. I see her all day long, man. I was looking, and she had to get a job. And her paperwork come up. The bastard embezzled some of her money out of the bank, her man ridiculous. Look, clean, listen. Embezzle big money out of the bank. You hear me? She was getting a job. Listen, the white company was hiring her knowing she had the felony, and I'm the only nigga that know about it. Hired her. Listen, she just got out of jail. Her husband's still in prison for it. Listen, you see that woman, listen, she look like she could be CIA, FBI, U.S. Senate, anything. That bastard embezzled, stole money from banks. Listen, and that bastard got her job, and they know the felony on them. Flatty Pop, I'm the only nigga know about it. Now I said, welcome to America. I love it. Because I don't look like the FBI and the CIA. And you know what, if you see her, you'll naturally think, that lady there is somebody. She's a robbing, stealing hoe. A crooked hoe and can still get a job with a felony. Guess what she's doing? Handling money. How you tell me one could get that job? That's what I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. I ain't tell you. Guess what I ain't doing? I ain't tell you what I heard nobody tell me. I'm telling what I know. You tell me who in here can get a job. Your husband in prison and y'all been embezzling money from a bank. Big money. And you sit here with a felony on your record, this on your record, and you get a job and you handling money. Did I mention she got a supervisor position? I didn't say regular worker did her, because I would be lying. Supervising position. Did I just tell y'all that she wound up letting that job go? Who know why? She got a bit off. That's why I be so pissed. Listen, I see so much stuff. I deal with so much stuff. Why these people do stuff. Listen, it just blow your mind. All this, how many of y'all have been told want a job, but because of your background, you couldn't get them? Welcome to America. Welcome to America. I'm telling you, see that, listen, she look good now. She look good. I know how she done it. I know how she got that money out of that. I said, oh, she look good. She can do that. She do it. Oh, listen, she cut her. She in shape too now. Oh, she got a black girl booty too. All that now. I know how she got out of with that money. Probably still got a little bit back there. She took some of that money, got her some constructive surgery. Oh, yeah, she doing good. Listen, and she got them eyes like Linda Carter from Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, you to land like that, man, her titties still sit up. Her eyes just glow in your eyes. Hold on, how many of y'all used to want that thing to follow you? As long as you don't want it now, you ain't saying. How many of y'all want to do it? How many of y'all want to see it drop? Y'all like, I done judged it. Y'all like, yeah, all right. They good. I done judged that thing. Y'all clean, don't worry about it. But you know what I'm saying? I just tell y'all stuff like that because you know why? I had inferiority complex with white people because I felt like all white people, the police, all white people get the added, all white people, because white people kept a solitude at one time. They didn't let us in the world. If white people didn't like, they didn't tell you that. It'd be a little something sometimes they might say about a North and a Southerner, but they didn't let you in the world about different ways of how they felt about other whites and other groups. That wasn't your business. That stuff you only discuss with the family. And white people just got all the opportunity thing, and it just looked like white people just built for things to work out good for them. And then you start learning it's not. It's a facade. It's in this to put in your psyche that you're damn, you're the devil, that you're dirty because of your skin. Yeah, most people done, they did it. They know they done it. Listen, it's an order they give out to make you feel like that. Man, I get 100 white men come in with suits and ties, start talking, drink. You already know don't come up. That ain't your conversation. They'll block it. They use words they don't even know themselves. They don't know the definition of every word they use. They just shoot them out. They saying so much. You just a naturalist. They're so intelligent because you created, made up some words that you and your friend, they're like a fraternity. They got certain words they got in there that you don't know about either. Did that make them more intelligent than you? So all they did was create a word like a fraternity, and they use them among themselves, and you hear, and you just naturally say, I better get that ain't for me. That's for big money people. These crackers struggling. Look at the boy, Michael, who the boy who was over national security under Trump? No, they had him over national. Michael Carter, the boy, Mike, he was a former general from the, I think he put him on national security. He wound up pleading out first. He went broke real quick. Trump got some crackers in there with him. Listen, Joker didn't have $10,000. They got U.S. Senate, he didn't have $10,000. That Joker been stealing money against stuff. These Joker be broke. But these Joker holding down jobs, suit. I'm talking about these Joker Senate. These Joker broke. But you see, if you thinking, man, they got all this money. They got money because they're making crooked business deals. They're getting paid on the back end. All they do is go sit in their staff, go sit in their aid. They don't be in the room. So when anything come up, listen, whenever the feds come and get them folks for cases, the feds are right what they got. But them crackers smart enough to already know, I'm not in the room to do it. I sent an aid. When the aid come back, they can put, the person who you saying got the money never got it from me. Now, whatever he did, I have nothing to do with it. That's why they keep them flunkies around them. These crackers are making money by doing illegal business. Listen, do y'all know how many of y'all heard of CIA? Y'all know these folks top pay us? About $80,000 a year. I'm flying out of here, sleeping with hoes, sleeping with niggas. I'm smoking drugs, moving drugs. And you think I'm living on $80,000 a year with my family? I'm living a dollar life. You think $80,000 a year holding me down? I get mine on the tape. $80,000, I'm going here and I'm having sex with men that ain't gay. I'm going here and living with a whole family, creating family. Listen, I'm forced, I'm going in country, I'm doing espionage, all this, and you think $8,000 holding me down? White people have played us that make us look like things are bigger than what they are. These people have built their wealth and built their stuff off of lying, off of manipulation, off of forgery. This is their news. Whether it's Fox News or CNN, Fox is Republican, CNN is Democrat. These people build, all these news are owned by them. These the same people that come out and talk, they use them to front stories out here for them. When it's any kind of story they want to put, where they want to frame a person or build a person, they use these same people. Y'all ain't gonna believe what these people got to get before you come to the White House. Who know what it is? Clearance. You know what kind of clearance you got to get? You got to get an FBI background check. That's got to go through your college, with all your roommates, through everybody, listen, and your friends. That's how you get in there. These people, a lot of them don't know nothing. They just think you work for one of them, you put a badge on, you walk in there. You got to do an extensive FBI investigation. They catch you lying about you smoke weed before you're in trouble. And you got to get how many times? How many times? They don't have a problem with you doing drugs or smoking weed. They just got a problem with you not telling them. See, that's the difference. They just want you to tell. You think they got a problem with Kevin not being a drunk? They just got a problem. Why you ain't tell me? I like to get drunk too. I didn't know you like to get wet. I just try to tell y'all stuff. Y'all didn't know about these people. Because I'm going to tell you, I know my people now. I know y'all. Y'all got your heart in these people. All right, I'm going to move on. Whatever reason I told you that. Y'all take it for what it worth. I'll move, try to get quick and get you something. Come on, son, let's let them out of here. Y'all get it rolling. Come on. It's like Mr. Yahuwah. You can talk. You can blow while I'm talking. They're like Mr. Yahuwah. Ain't nothing changed. Like Mr. Yahuwah, I'm going to still be working. Y'all got it? This thing's still going to be going. When he come back here, the man working. He ain't sitting down doing it. He working. Ain't that right? Still got this thing going. We just got to be ready. When it come back, we hear that. That's what we got to do. We got to be able to break away from what we're doing, and we got to get up. Appreciate you, good man. Come on, son, clock me in. You could have really did that as soon as I walk in. Let's move quick through him. Romans. Chapter 15, verse 4. How many of y'all knew we were going now? How many of y'all didn't know? Could have went some other way. Well, so where y'all been going at? Because we do this every week. I want to get it burnt in your memory. Y'all, why we use this, Aki? Because it's right? Why we use it?
Because it's written.
Because it's written. Listen, this gives us the validity of why we use it. Why do you use the Old Testament? Why do you go back and use any of that old writing? Because it's there for a purpose. Understand purpose. This is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Listen to the book.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime
Tell them what was it written for?
were written for our learning.
For what reason?
That we, through patience,
and
comfort of the scriptures,
tell them why do what?
Might have hope.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Isn't that right? Let's look at a couple of things so we can get ready to get out of here. In the book of Oriah, they call it Luke. Oh, when you gonna get me Barashit? What is Barashit? Beginning. What's significant for us? That's right. Isn't that right? It declared the end at the beginning. That keep me going back down.
That's right.
I don't know how I can leave it.
That's right.
I don't know how I can leave it. If the end at the beginning, how I'm gonna leave it?
Can't leave it.
So it's always gonna be resource for me. I'm talking about, he told me whatsoever written aforetime written for our learning, right? That we through patient coming. I don't know. Well, at the beginning, you would tell me the end. I'm gonna have to keep going back there. That's so. He said it. Why I got to go back? You know, the book will tell you leaving the principles of the doctrine that has gone on to what? Not laying what? A foundation what? A dead what? Or what? Dead works. So this ain't dead work. If the end is at the beginning, he let me know he ain't talking about no scripture. Because people use that. See, somebody use that. No, the Bible say leaving the foundation or leaving dead work, leaving. Listen, he's not talking about that law. This thing written. That's why I know whatsoever written aforetime, written for our, that we through patience cover the scripture. That's what I'm talking about. 20 and 1 over here, the book of Ariel they call Luke. Other one, Barashit 126. Listen to the book.
And it came to pass that on one of those Yamim, as he taught the people in the temple and preached the Debar, the chief Kohanim and the scribes came upon him with the elders and spake unto him, saying, Tell us, by what authority doest thou these things?
What happened?
Or who is he that gave thee this authority?
Yeah.
And he answered and said unto them, I will also ask you one thing.
What happened?
And answer me, the immersion of Yochanan, was it from Shamayim or of Anashim?
What happened?
And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we shall say from Shamayim,
What happened?
he will say, Why then believe ye him not?
Yeah.
But and if we say of Anashim, all the people will stone us.
Mm-hmm.
For they be persuaded that Yochanan was a Nabi.
See that? They were persuaded. What happened?
And they answered that they could not tell whence it was.
What you say now?
And they answered that they could not tell whence it was.
What happened, Brandon?
And Yahushua said unto them,
What did he tell them?
Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things.
That's what I'm telling you when it comes to these white folk. I'll teach y'all Sunday night. 126. Barashit 126.
Yes, sir.
Listen to the book.
And Elohim said, Let us make Ish in our image,
And what?
after our likeness,
What happened?
and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea,
And
over the fowl of the air,
what else?
and over the cattle, and over all the arats,
See, what else?
and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the arats.
So what did he do?
So Elohim created Ish in his own image.
What did he do?
In the image of Elohim created he him.
How did he do it?
Male and female created he them.
That's good right now. I'm going to hold this. Y'all see that? Just leave it down. I'll come back and get it. Name is you how you see fit. Y'all got that? I'll come back and I'll clean that up. 216, Barashit. We ain't going to get it. Just, yeah. We'll get it. Most high, this week, who will permit. I'll clean it up for you. All right, we'll clean it up. Y'all see how that works? When they can't answer their question, how you went answer them? It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Everybody good? Let's see the 4th chapter of the book of Mark. Mark chapter 4. See, 4 and 7, 4 and 30. Let's see, 4 and 37, Mark. Martha Yahoo. Nine and 3. Let's talk a little bit. Listen to the book.
And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him, and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Shalom, be still.
Yeah.
And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful?
He said what now?
Why are ye so fearful?
Uh-huh.
How is it that ye have no amunah?
Yeah.
And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another,
What did
What
they say?
manner of Ish is this?
What manner Ish it did?
that even the wind and the sea obey him.
They got to look at stuff like that. I wonder what be this kind of man right here to let it have dominion over. Because the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, all these different things operate. And he want to know, they trying to figure out what kind of Ish is this. This is Ish operating in his authority. That's the only kind of man I can see him being. It only makes sense to let me see that. Because really, I couldn't understand when you tell me, when you read 126, you told me, let me read again, 126, please, by Rashid. Let's see it again. I just want to hear it. Let me see. In other words, see that the book of, if it's 4:15, see that Jacob, they call it James. Let me see that what I want. Let's see that what I want. Listen to the book. This is 126. Listen.
And Elohim said, let us make Ish in our image.
He said, let us make Ish in what image?
In our image.
Yeah, he going to make it in his image, his reflection. Like what?
After our likeness.
Just after our likeness.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Over the fish of the sea.
And over the fowl of the
where
air.
The fish at? Reading the probably say the fish of the sea because that's where they at. They in the water.
That's right.
They said, what else?
And over the fowl of the air.
And where the fowl is going to be? Up in the Shamayim. They're going to be in the Shamayim, the birds. What else happened?
And over the cattle.
And over the cattle.
And over all the arats.
And what else?
And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the arats.
So what did it do?
So Elohim created Ish in his own image.
I don't know why we don't see that. I don't know why we don't look at stuff like this. I had an inferiority complex then with these people. You know, how many of y'all done heard this growing up about how they, what manner of man is this? Even the ways of the wind obeying. But when it makes sense, because I really didn't understand what kind of authority I don't. Let's just be honest. Adam in the garden, the only thing I ever thought about Adam in the garden was a white man and a white woman.
Yep.
And the white man was in there, and the white woman, then he ate, and then they got put out. It was a snake.
Yep.
That's as much as I knew about the garden.
That's right.
Am I correct? It was neat for me to know this. It was neat for me to know this. Because even they tried to figure out what kind of man is this? It's got to be the Ben Elohim. It's got to be the Ben Elohim. It's got to be. Who else can do this? Who else? They're looking at the average man, the average Joe Blow, he can't do this. All people we find operating this type of atmosphere, people that operate by his ruach. That's why it's so important. In order for us to get back to where we got to be, we got to have a ruach.
Got to have.
Listen, let's see that. What I said, 4:15. You're cold. Let me see. I might be out. I'm getting old. Been a long time. Let's see. Might be 4. Let me see. 4:14. What does it say?
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? Mm-hmm. It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away. Mm-hmm. For that ye ought to say, if Yahuwah will, we shall live and do this or that. Mm-hmm. But now you rejoice in your boasting.
5. I'm sorry, 5:14. 5:14. That's true too. We need to do that. I don't say that with sinners. I know they ain't got no better sense. They don't understand it. Jacob, they call it the book of James. 5:14. Let me hear 5:14. I probably want 12. Listen.
Is any sick among you?
Then bad metal 12 be fine. Listen to the book.
I think you want verse 17.
Verse 17.
I believe.
No, I'm going to go down to that.
Okay, yes, sir.
Fine.
But above all things, my Akim swear not, neither by Shamayim nor by the Arats.
What happened?
Neither by any other oath, but let your yea be yea and your nay, nay.
See that? And what happened?
Lest you fall into condemnation.
See that? You know, wind up getting condemned. Take none of these covenant over these people on nothing. In your book, even told you about making covenant and leave with these other people. This ain't far-fetched for us.
That's
We were
right.
told not to make leagues and covenant with these people. They'll wind up putting you in a situation you wind up having to break it.
That's right.
Ain't that right? Just say, yeah, and anything to do, we ought to say, if Yahuwah will.
That's right.
I know he ain't here with me do nothing wrong.
That's right.
Ain't that right? You said, let me go to the store with you. Yeah, I'll go with you. Yahuwah will. I'll go with him, and he go and get some crack. And I say, I ain't going to go. He going to go. He told me, now he going to go get some. I ain't going to go. And he said, now you done lied because you done told me you going to go with me. Yeah, but I know what your intent is. I got to leave myself room where I can get out of there. I done tied myself in it. So unlike how a lot of people do, we get out of stuff. We got to be careful because these men, for some, when they made covenant, they made over, they did it. And much as Nebuchadnezzar, like Daniel, he still had to put him in there. They ain't like us say, hold on, y'all tricked me, y'all lied to me. They look at their word, they bun. Huh? That's just the honor. When they try to come back and get Pilate to change the description on the two. They say all they want him to do is right there. He said that. He said, well, I written. I ain't changing nothing. I wrote. That's what I said. See, y'all know what? If we were people like he was, things would be different for us.
That's right. That's right.
Things would be different. But we need to be put in power, set position.
Yeah.
And we hadn't had to operate. We all done worked as a abed. Y'all got me?
Yeah.
Not for y'all. We've always worked as a servant.
Right.
And these people have just kind of kept us realize this is the type of authority you actually have.
Yeah.
It ain't just, when I said it's just not us, it started with us of color because we're the people that predominantly have the inferiority complex because of the color, because of the hair. It is. You see a black man with nappy hair, what you say? Man, that's the real thing. You say, man, that nigga hair, that's so now that nigga hair look like Choco Briquette. Yep. And that's because you've been predominantly ruled by people with a straighter hair.
Yep. That's right.
People with a curly. Look, that's the only reason you wouldn't look at it like that if they were under you.
Nope.
How many black people walk around and say, man, I want to be a Mexican? This not I'm not against Mexican when I say some stuff, but I'm flat about it. You know, a lot of people have stolen our place. You don't tend to desire to be like somebody under you.
Right.
You typically look to try to desire somebody over you.
Right.
Y'all got me?
Right.
That's just being honest. So when you see white people, you tend to look to want to be like them. So I had to speak to you first. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Shaul. I wish that not wish, but he desired his own self to be a curse from the Mashiach for his kingdom according to the flesh. So don't. So I don't let people get me confused. It's, I just feel like you speaking more to black people. Anybody and doing what I'm doing of another race gonna do the same thing it is.
Yep.
You gotta have something because I know it's just like the book told us. Every high Kohan, what was he taken from now? For what reason? For what reason?
Feel the infirmity.
You're going to go get a man to be my Kohan, and he lived a whole life of rearing of no suffering, no persecution, no hatred, no lying on him. You wouldn't benefit me. You couldn't understand my problem if I told it to you. You're going to understand being put in a situation where you didn't have a choice? You ain't going to understand it. You know what you're going to tell me? You always got a choice.
Yep.
You do if you live in a white predominant neighborhood and police officers don't lock you up, they take you home.
Right.
That's just being honest. They don't lock, they take you home.
Right.
When judges know your uncle or aunt them and they start erasing court documents and records. Don't say what they can't do, they can do it. All we do is set stuff to the side.
Right.
So now you come along and see me, and I done stacked up 4 or 5 tickets. 2 I got because I was stupid. The other 2 I got were actually a situation where I really was honest in these 2. But you saying because of the law and how things work, not your problem. These are decisions I should have thought about earlier in my life.
Right.
And you start to dictate and tell me, and now you give me suspended license for 2 or 3 years, and now I'm a nigga got to get to work and got a family, and I'm going to sneak my behind out here. I'm going to be driving with no license, and now I'm being deeper trouble.
Yep.
Plus, I can't get no insurance because my license suspended.
Yep.
Now you get me, you really gonna throw the book at me because I'm just one of these people you just don't seem to learn. Mr. Smith, in life, you make decisions. You like, man, just give me my time.
Yep.
And when you make decisions, you have to always look at the repercussion. And you, sir, today will be feeling that. I gave you opportunity, I suspended your privilege for you to consider and to learn from the mistake. But apparently you hadn't because you still been dry. Now you don't give me a little jail time. I'll learn from this. How many of your white kids, your niece and nephew never got jail time?
Right. That's right. That's right.
I ain't saying what I done was right, but I'm saying just make sure everybody get the same thing. Yep. So you start giving out, a lot of these judges give you, they kids crooks.
Yep.
Some police officer kids and judge kids are the worst kids on the planet. Because they feel like they have a light. I'm talking about especially the white, black one. No, they parents don't know. Nigga, you get me fired, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
They being honest. The white, when they look at, listen, that's a badge to do wrong. They take them to the white functioning party so other officers know. So they say, kid out, you know, they let them know. Hey, that's my boy. They let them know, oh, okay, that's your son. I ain't tell you. Yeah, I remember him. I remember son. Your boy out here stealing. Your boy, he ain't gang. Your boy here doing stuff ain't got no business. Your boy here drinking. Your boy had drugs. You know what you do? You throw him away. Tell him, keep his mouth shut. You get him out of there. Y'all hear me? Them kids done been walked away from scenes? That's just being honest. So then when you go, it just look like you're just inherently bad people, and that white people don't do wrong. It's an inferiority complex. Man, I would never sit in these court cases with other white kids waiting to get same time of charges. It was all niggas. All niggas. That will do something to your psyche. That will do something to your psychosis. So white people won't want you to think of yourself having disability operating like this. Let's see what they told us. This is the 4th chapter book of your code. I'm saying 5th chapter. Verse 13, 14.
Continue at verse 13.
Listen.
Is any among you afflicted?
Do what?
Let him Palal. Is any merry? Let
Hold
him.
on for a minute. Hold on. Afflicted. Going through something. You saying Palal?
Let him Palal.
You said call for who now?
Is any among you afflicted? Let him Palal.
Call for the who?
Let him Palal.
You mean I have the ability when I'm going through something that I can pray. I can get something done. If I'm being afflicted, he just said in it. He didn't say Ra'ah, pastor, reverend, apostle. If I'm being afflicted, he told me that I could pray.
That's right. That's right.
Let's see something. 27th chapter, book of Matthew. (27:38). Matthew, they call Matthew. Other brother, give me Abarim. They call Hebrews. Abarim 5 and 6. Let's see what happened. Listen to the book.
Then were there 2 thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left.
Come on.
And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads and saying,
What?
Thou that destroyest the Magdash and buildest it in 3 yamim, save thyself. If thou be the Ben of Elohim, come down from the toot. Likewise also the Rosh Kohanim, mocking him with the scribes and Zakan, said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the Malach of Yasharal, let him now come down from the toot, and we will believe him.
What happened?
He trusted in Elohim.
Do what?
Let him deliver him now, if he will have him.
What happened?
For he said, I am the Ben of Elohim.
So what happened?
The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth.
What happened?
Now from the 6th hour there was Kashak over all the land until the 9th hour.
What happened?
And about the 9th hour, Yahusha cried with a loud voice, saying,
Who?
Ali, Ali, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my Elohim,
What?
why hast thou forsaken me?
What happened?
Some of them that stood there when they heard that, said, This Ish calleth for all Yahoo.
Yeah.
And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink.
What happened?
The rest said, Let be, let us see whether all Yahoo will come to save him.
Yeah.
Yahusha, when he had cried again with a loud voice,
Did what?
yielded up the Ruach.
That's good. At Abarim, chapter 5, verse 8. You know, growing up, I never found a place in the book for me.
That's right.
I always think white people, white places.
That's
They're
right.
There.
That's
Names
right.
on that place. I didn't know what them places were. Anything to try to look them up for what reason. When I was growing up early 70s, we had no computer to look up nothing.
That's right.
You're going to have to use encyclopedia.
That's encyclopedia. That's
Stuff
right.
in here wasn't finna be in there.
That's
We
right.
had a map on the book, but what different they going to do with me? I lived in Kirkwood. I'm
That's
trying
right.
to look at a book, a map on the Bible, on the page, and I live in Kirkwood. How that benefit me? I don't know where that's from. I don't know how to get that from Kirkwood.
Right.
From Decatur? How you get that? How you get that from Greater Hospital? If I gave y'all that map in your book on how to get it, can you get that from Greater Hospital downtown? So that's how far it was from even my imagination.
That's right. That's right.
Just far from my imagination. And even our book, they testify in the book of Yeshua, they said salvation will fall from them. This is what white people did. Listen, that was in the fact. You know how they looked at salvation being fall? First of all, they looked at the distance where they were.
Right. Right.
How far they were separated from the place where
Right.
the covenant was. how they lack so much information. So salvation will be far. The fact they got us this far from where we're supposed to be learning, we have this much lack in information and knowledge. Salvation not even prevalent, though. There's not a chance, and they will call it hell, you'll even get there. Just being honest. That's why people quit and give up. Because you keep seeing yourself in a dominated state, not in a dominant state. Right. That's all you keep seeing. Right. You go to a job to be beaten, to be manipulated. To sit here and take away more employee when this work is already strenuous. Why? He wants to afflict you. You ain't got time to pray. Jesus, what I'm going to do? Keep calling on him. Keep calling and going further back. Why do you think these people keep us in stress position? Let me see for a second. Let me ask you. This hurt. This hurt. That hurt. That hurt. It is getting uncomfortable. So if I kept you like this for about 400 years, and I need you to go to work right now, all right, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of work. Is it going to be a lot on you? Because you got to deal with it. This is stress. That's a stress position. A lot of times they're going to keep, now when stress supposed to get you to call on it, I got to keep throwing other angles at it. I got to make sure he got the wrong name. Call on Jesus. He calling the wrong name, he in a stress position, and I'm going to keep getting more stuff going on. You feel he's so dumb and so stressed. What God? What deliverance? What salvation? It's all, the whole thing is a manipulation process. It's the manipulate. And I'm going to send that man. The man that told me that was a stress position. And imagine me making it worse and then still putting more work on you. What deliverance? What God? By what name? Right now he's too big. He ain't even got time to listen to. The man got the whole world on his back. We got the whole, what do you think the whole purpose of? Y'all might say, oh, I just wish he was just preaching, not talk about the thing. I'm talking about real life issues that affect you. Right. You can't let somebody keep shoving this book in your face and you have no concept of what's going on with you.
That's right.
You didn't live in the time period when it was written. That already makes it difficult. How many of y'all here wrestled with that? The fact you don't live in that time period. You don't live in that street or them neighborhoods. Right. You don't know them people and they don't know you.
That's right.
Let these people make a fool out of you. Let me tell you it's sin. Because you think like that. It's called reality. Yeah. So this is the purpose that he said, all your business got to be taught of me. Because he already know. I know you don't know me. I don't expect you to just go away with me. You don't even know me. Pick them up. Allah Shemut. These were the names. Exodus, chapter 4. Make it 3. See if it's 3 and 8. And I still want Allah Shemut. Four. Prophet Diet gonna fix a lot of this stuff we gonna have. Y'all know that? A lot of the destruction that came on us and our kids is the diet. Yeah. Not just the food, it's the information. Yeah. Information is just like food. You'll keep feeding on it. That's right. Wrong information keep keep us going the wrong way. Right. Make no mistake. These people know what they're doing. 4, let's say 4 and 20. So let's see. Let me see what 3 and 7 say, Brandon. How far? Allah Shemut, they call Exodus 3 and 7. Other one get me Allah Shemut 4 and about 20, or the same person, however you want to work it out. Listen to the book. You tired, you baby. You don't care, you're all right. It's human. Listen.
And Yahuwah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Mizraim, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
You said, hold on for a minute. You said, who prayed for them, Brandon?
And have heard their cry.
What was again, what would you say about? You said they were sick.
I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Mizraim.
You seen the affliction. And what did you do now? What did
he say? And have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
Not their pastor. Pastor, I'm going through. Pray for me.
And have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
See, you know, that'll get you to think now, when you don't have a leader, that you don't have no ability to even get a Palal through. When you're going through something, the man said, you got the ability to pray. It be a separate. What you think, how he said for a long season. What had it been without? So if you don't have a teacher, you ain't gonna get no prayer through. You get a teacher? Come on, folks. We gotta have some ability. He already know they were gonna put us to the word. They were gonna separate us. The covenant that we got, the Berith that he gave us, was supposed to be in Jerusalem.
Right, right.
Jerusalem, where we were supposed to be.
That's
But
right.
even Yahushua came along and said, he said, you know, the time gonna come when you weren't gonna worship here or in Jerusalem.
That's right.
We had to get our minds all set that we were gonna be there.
That's
They were
right.
gonna separate us.
That's right.
He had to set up a way and provision. Well, listen, he knew the type of people we were dealing with. What sense you think it mean? I'm finna take all y'all care. I just ran up on y'all. I'm a clean white man. Bugger shoe. I ain't ready to tell you why I'm behind. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna wash my hand. I just got through wiping 2 times. I had diarrhea. Someone got on my hand. How you doing, sir? Good to meet you. Good to meet you. I'm from the Americans. He know this. It's nice to meet you. I'm from America. Y'all know, good. That blood hand. Good to meet you. I know it's a new place. What I want to do, I come out, listen, I'm with Carnival Cruises. What we have is jobs and opportunity with travel. Niggas talking about, who? Where can we start? Now, these people take you. Does it make sense to take you with your leader, or it makes sense to separate you from your leader? Because your leader is going to cause conflict. If I keep you with a teacher, that teacher is going to keep things in your remembrance. So it makes sense to separate. They did that even with parents. When they had kids, the best thing to do was to take you, give you to somebody else.
Yep.
When I get to somebody, I will make sure you marry somebody from a totally different tribe.
Yep.
Because I don't want y'all to have nothing in common. Y'all from 2 different regions. Y'all got married. The kid hearing 2 different stories.
Yep.
I shoot the kid somewhere else. So there's never a real fundamental or real basis for what you believe how you got here.
Oh.
I done threw you around and mixed you so many times that guess what happened? You don't know where you from. You don't know what you believe.
That's right.
If you go through Ancestry.com, a white man who can take your spit, and he can go way back in time and find your granddad. You know how many folk done bumped the ground to get you here?
That's right. That's right.
And you went through all that from some spit. I'd be a fool to put mine on the bottom and give it to him.
That's right.
All them crackers want you to do is put it down. Think about this. I have a company set up by the government where you going to send me your spit. You going to give me your name, your birth date, and your mom and your dad information. Nigga, this called tracking.
Tracking. That's right.
It's called tracking, nigga.
Yep.
I'm going to get so much information from your dumb nigga, I send you back some stuff that you can't possibly verify, and you go what I told you.
Yep.
Make a fool out of you. Why would you even try? How you went straight back to a white man? When everybody with any lighter than charcoal burnt black has got to be mixed.
Mix. Yep.
There's been white mixture in your blood. How I will pull you back to Europe? They always pull a nigga back to Africa and a white man back to Europe. Some of them white folk supposed to come up in what they call Africa.
Yep. Yep.
With one of them ladies with them tits sagging out here to come on, vibe. Right. What you want, vibe? You want some grain, vibe? And come on, vibe. Want some more titty milk, vibe. I don't see one of the white. I get one of the white folks. I'm gonna send them straight to a crackhead. Right. That's your mama. That's your mama right out, crackhead.
That's right. That's right.
But the fact that we put that kind of confidence in these people, yeah, this man already did our DNA. The best way to trace it back, how you got everybody back to who that original Abba is, 2 of them. You either gonna go back to Abraham or you going back to the devil.
Yeah.
That's the only way to trace you back. It's been too much mixture.
Yeah.
He even told them at the 16th chapter book of your cousin called that. He said your mother was a Hittite.
Yeah.
Your father was an Amorite.
That's right.
He didn't even get him Abraham.
Nope.
Yaksakar or Yaakov. They were Hittites. He said, y'all don't mix. There's so much mixing stuff don't went on. Do you really know who your mother is? This is why we got to be taught the book in a way to where, look at what affects you now. Let's look at the book from that perspective, or looking at what was the basis of what was originally set up. Originally, he set man each up to be in his image and his likeness. Along the way, somebody came along and altered. There was some defects, and some people played and they manipulated us based off the defects. We've been wearing the sin of creation while the white man been living out the liberties of Yahushua and then naming Jesus Christ.
Yep. Yep.
Just being honest. They made a fool out of it. There's no reason why people walk off and people quit. Because nobody want to tell people the truth. Every time I don't hope somebody slap my done teeth out of my mouth, I need my situation. Them people want to sit here praying for no Mizraim. He said, I heard their cry. By reason of their attack, these people were afflicted. What did he say he's going to do, Brandon?
For I know their sorrows.
I know their sorrow. How can he do that if he ain't somewhat acquainted with me? How you gonna know that if you're not acquainted with me? You done been afflicted before? He had to. That's how we know Yahushua.
Yeah.
That's why he realized, he told, I already know what you're going through.
That's right.
I got a man that came down and going to fulfill the whole book. He said, I come in the whole book.
Whole book.
The man said, I know. How can you know my sorrow if you hadn't been through a situation like this? You know when he came, when he saw Lazarus with integrate, you didn't believe what he did.
Cry.
I know what it's like to cry about somebody that died that you love. By some unfortunate incident or term, however it might happen. Huh? Went and looked at the whole city. You believe what he did? He wept. You know what the book told me in the book of Yahoo about it? So he was acquainted with something. So how you doing? I'm sorry. How you doing? I'm sorry. How you doing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wonder how you doing? I'm sorry. He was acquainted. We know each other now. I told you he was a man acquainted with it. So somebody that can bear and feel my infirmity, my weakness, who knew what I needed, I'm not making strong again. I know how you got to your situation. You were manipulated out of your rulership.
Right.
They manipulated me out of mine.
That's right. That's right.
I had a guy one time, and they had locked him up and put him in jail. They told me he come in here with crying like a baby. He said, no, they used tear gas on me.
That's right.
Because that stuff you use on crowds.
That's right.
They had him looking like he was in there crying. He said, man, you were crying like a baby. Man, you used tear gas on me.
That's right.
And you was on crowds, isn't that right?
That's right.
It was a movie, but just trying to get you to understand. They'll manipulate you. They manipulate us just like Ka'ur and just like Adam. They manipulate us. They got to sit down and change our diets. There was information that went our diet. People don't realize the way we're supposed to eat feeds your melon.
Yes,
Let me tell you something with Asian people. They can eat all the white rice. A lot of white rice is bad for us. It's too starchy.
Yeah.
But it feeds their melon.
Right.
A lot of food, you know, they'll tell you about brain food.
Right.
Because certain food will give certain additives to certain things.
Right.
Just like with Yahushua. When they sat down, they ate with him. You ain't gonna believe what happened.
Eyes.
Their eyes were open.
Yes, sir.
And they did what? They knew it. So there's a food that we can ingest that will help us to understand the concept.
That's right.
That can allow us to envision.
Yes, sir.
How was it when they ate, their eyes were open?
That's right.
They feed us food that blind us. We got babies with glasses.
That's right. That's right. Don't make sense.
That's how I think. That's how I think. That's how I think. That's how I look at stuff. I know he'd be like, man, he's so far. I don't know why. Sometimes I have my mom come in, boom, come on, teacher, get up here. Well, we got real causes. We got real issues. I hear people talking just like, listen, Daoud, you know what he would have did? He'd been out there still keeping sheep.
Yeah. Yeah.
People talking. Like people talking. I hear people talking. You know what people talk about? That great white man. That great defeat of our people. Right. That man everybody's afraid of. That man that's taking down everybody we got. Nobody can stop him. And he's threatening to take down more of us. The man left the sheep. Yeah. What everybody talking about?
That's right.
What's going on? And then you get criticized for one of his own.
Yeah.
See, when you want to stand up for something that's right, you puffed up, you trying to be seen. He said, is it not a call?
Not a call. Yes, sir.
Is it not a call for the, is it not a call? Is it not a call?
Yes, sir.
Look at why our people, what are we, let's just be honest. Black people are afraid of white people. Listen, no, I'm afraid of poverty. I'm afraid of dying. I'm afraid of losing my relationship or my marriage or my kids. And that's going to be because of one dominant fact of white people.
Yeah, that's right.
White people will keep you in poverty.
That's right.
White people will break up your home.
That's right.
White people will take your kids. That's the facts.
That's
They
right.
call it defects.
Defect.
That's the facts. Worst thing ever happened when we got white people coming in and trying to dictate a black home. You can't dictate a black home. You know how black home is ran. Ain't no greater love for a black child than a black mother.
That's right.
You can't get into that. Listen, I'm just keep it flat. Listen, I love my mother. My mother dropped out of high school, 10th grade. She had to work in the field. That woman there, one of the greatest mothers ever. You couldn't have given me no white woman did no better job.
No, not going to happen.
That woman never taught me again hate no racist people. She know the white and the arrogant and irresponsibility of white people. She never taught me against these people. Never taught me against Asians or Hispanic people, anything else. My mom was the greatest mother in the world to me. That's my mother.
That's right.
She knew what a black child. She knew exactly what kind of behind whooping I needed.
That's right.
She listen, man, I get sick. My mama could get something. She can go in there and whip up something and give me. Sometimes I be in the house, I be sick ready to eat. My mama go in there and whip up something. Look, frozen ground beef like that right here. She put that thing, take a knife, start stabbing that thing, butcher knife, chopping on that thing. Man, made that, cook that thing. We got some sloppy Joe. Mama can make something happen now. Mama can whip something up so fast before it gets baby sick. Mama just get you just hold it, make you feel better. Then kid, not one. If I got chicken pot, mama can hold one of them chicken. Get on. Mama get them chicken, get egg from it, and fry wings.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Mama can take that chicken pot, put one of them chicken on, man. We got chicken for dinner.
That's right. That's right.
Mama, I mean, that's what they do.
That's right. That's right.
They do. Mama would listen to me. I remember one time I ran away from home. My mama left her jug, got on the bus. She seen me walk down the street. She knew I was coming on her jug out and walked with me, top me, made me feel a whole lot better. I still didn't go back home. I said, Henry Grady gonna kill me, but I feel better though. Ain't that right? And she gave me butt fast. I ain't had to go home. Because she didn't want her son to die. I had a greater mother you can find. And she knew. You go back, he gonna kill you. Let me give you this right here. You going to stay on my sit down. She knew. She gonna let me come one of them dumb white, go home. He can't beat you because that's against the law. And I be dead now. Y'all be reading the book about me. Little Henry died. Y'all be like, I wonder what kind of man he'd have grown up to be. Now you know what would have happened. So I'm just telling you about things that when people try to handle us, you got to understand. Even Mr. Yahuwah realize that. You got to understand them before you kind of try to handle them.
You got to.
That's just being honest. It's going to be hard to deal with when they can say, black homes and black kids. Listen, man, we could be in a project, but we can be happy if you just let us do what we do.
That's right. That's right.
Let's be honest. A lot of us, we ain't got to have a measure that people say to be happy. A lot of what happened, we had less stuff. More stuff we getting more time to take away from. Anyway, we don't learn that. And see, then we want to know, we say, why white people would be home, why they lose their kid. And guess why we lose our kid? Too much stuff.
Yep.
Too much stuff don't allow you to take time to stop and take off and say, you say, I'm trying to make it, I'm trying to get where you don't have to do that. Sometimes it ain't the stuff, it's the time. See, a lot of this has been destructive to our homes. But see, nobody's taught us like that. Yeah, you got to have a balance. That's why I tell you, when you got to work a plan. If I'm going to grind, I'm going to get it. I'm going to need you to be inputting why I'm doing what I'm doing so I don't lose them. I'm counting on you to be here to make sure you keep inputting what dad's doing. Or if it's mom that can make it, dad working and say, listen, we're working as a team, so you don't have to do that. We want a generation that can grow up where both of them can be there full time and do and set you up like that, but it's got to start somewhere. And we ain't going to build it with both of us on a job.
No. Right.
Both of us on a job going to land you to a job.
That's right.
That's why I had to talk to y'all like that. It's too much we lack. It's just too much people ain't told. Listen, what we lost, and we want to get in these homes back around here, we got to get these kids affection. I ain't said infection. They already got that.
Yeah.
We got to get them the cure to infection.
That's right.
Infection, why we done lost our kid, why they want their butts out. You know why all that is a kid with their pants out here? This a kid saying, F the whole world, I've been jilted. This ain't a kid that feel like he been loved.
That's right.
I know I've been one of them kids. Not the one to do that, but a lot of stuff I did, because you can fall into things because of other people. Other people can be impressed upon you. Before you know it, you'll start to adapt to what other people are doing versus what's actually comfortable that makes sense. And that's what we got to try to waken our people up to. We can't afford to sit around and let people play with us no more. We don't need no more wish sandwiches. Get in there and tell you to mess that thing. Man, it did what, but it's not, so let's stop wishing about it. If that's what you want, you're going to have to make it.
That's right.
What you have to do? I stopped eating mayonnaise sandwich, sugar sandwich. I used to eat them when I used to wish. I stopped wishing. What I want, that's what I want to go get.
Yes, sir.
That's what I want to go get. If I want me some fogo, I ain't got to pray about it. I go get it.
That's right.
Y'all hear me? If I want something, I just go get it. If I got something I want to go get, I just go get it. It should be like that for us. It's a natural thing. What should be a problem? Bigger thing I got to work for outside that harder than that desire is salvation.
Salvation, that's right.
That's the hardest work you ever put in to do. All the rest of the stuff, it's obtainable.
Yeah.
If you see it, you can obtain it.
That's right.
If somebody got it, you can get it.
You can get it. That's right.
You just remember, all these crackers ain't got this stuff because they honest. I got my eyes out why people got stuff. You start dealing with people, you say, oh, okay, that's how y'all do it. Mm-hmm. I thought y'all cracker with genius.
Nope.
That being honest, I'm there for you. You start saying. They don't care about going to, listen, these crackers don't care about going to prison. Because they look at it ain't for them, that's for niggas.
That's right. That's right.
You know why white people, because I'm going to tell you what I learned with white people. It ain't wrong. It's only wrong if you're black.
Right.
Or if you outside their group.
Right. Right.
They don't have them black kids. Y'all simply go, why are you doing this? I'm not a nigger.
Yep.
And y'all don't get mad with them. You know what happened? She exposing the system, letting you know these crackers here breaking rules.
Yup.
They know we don't do this. She like, I'm a white girl, and you do it. She scream. There's some other white folks standing around looking. That bitch a nigga. Get back, nigga. Get back. I'll blow you. Boop, boop, boop. You don't walk up, police got nobody scream. The white folks looking, because you know they looking at. Don't think them jokers ain't got no letter. When she got to that nigga, they try to put in that nigga car. That nigga, he said, I ain't the one to arrest. He know what to do. I said, man, I'll get her the keys. He said, you can drive. I send it back. Now, this white woman screaming this stuff, man, that stuff go viral. Let me tell you something. That case ain't over with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't fool yourself. Listen, white people, listen. White people always know somebody.
Yup. Always.
There's been a cut. They had a white guy here in the airport. Y'all seen the cut? Was putting him down. That joker wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
You tell them folks he not a nigga.
Yep.
Cause he look. This is stuff. When they walk, they look. Oh, that's a nigga. You know. Look, baby, see them niggas. That's what you do to them. They go. They animals. White people, the stuff y'all do. White people do it. They just don't see. White people all the time. You think a white person sit down and tell the truth every time? They lie all the time. But it's not a lie when they tell it. It's only a lie when you tell and you get caught. No, but please don't that. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just a bad system. I ain't trying to run every white person down. That's not my intent. I'm just trying to get you from the fact of the dominance they put on you and the inferiority complex you have about yourself based off of this system. This system not designed for you. That's why you feel inferior. It's not. This system's not built to make you feel or to help you to create. This system is not predicated on black people making business or creating business. It's predicated on black people working for business. It's predicated on black people creating for white businesses. It's not made, the system's not set up for you to create and to have. It's set up for you to borrow. It's not set up for you to lend. It's set up for you to go and see lenders. I'm trying to take the yoke off you. All right, come on, finish up.
And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of Mitzrayim.
You say came down to save the world.
To deliver them out of the hand of Mitzrayim.
So, if I be correct, they were not the only people in affliction, in bondage. So everybody that came out with them would have had to keep the same ritual, would have had to keep, they had the same amunah.
That's right.
They'd have had to. That's the only way.
Only way.
That's the only way. It made no sense to come out and deliver everybody. Because we had to keep us out.
Yeah.
Which we would have had to put the dome over the doors.
That's right.
So you tell me he brought some people that didn't do that?
Nope.
Wouldn't have made sense. Everybody came out and do the same thing. Everybody would have had to see themselves in our state. Everybody would have had to believe in what we believed in.
That's right.
I'm telling you now, let's see something. Come on.
And to bring them up out of that land unto a told land and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey.
So to bring them up to a large land, you think they land with the same size where they were going? That'd be small. Yep. You know what he told them? Yes, Yahoo said that we were going to say? The place was too strict. It was too restricted.
That's right.
See, it all makes sense. Yep. He talked about us saying that. He said we were going to say it was going to be too small.
Too small.
See, we started growing. We weren't swelling. We were growing.
That's right.
And because we were growing, we were going to need a better place. We're going to need a bigger place.
That's right.
What? Let me say, how many of y'all grew up in two-bedroom homes and it was more than 4 of you in it? Place was too small? Where do you think they get that kind of stuff from? That's part of psychosis keeping you down, just like jail. You don't try to get in a room. They build a bigger prison. They don't make bigger cells. They make more cells smaller.
That's right.
You try to concentrate to keep a person on reducing your lifestyle and your living.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of everything they do, even with their home. They've been in bigger home making everything smaller. They make a smaller clothes. Everything they're doing is to try to restrict you. They try to keep you because then the bigger you get, you know what? You start needing more stuff.
Yeah.
You start ingesting more stuff because of your size. And white people know this. So the whole hype net to get you credit on being thin. Thin is in. Skinny and skinny and skinny. I mean being healthy. They want you to live less, power more people in less space. They been did it. He just told them come and get them. You know what they may say we weren't going to go? He knew. I'm not finna go nowhere. Deliverance ain't taking me nowhere in the same junk I'm in.
That's right.
Give me a new car just like the regular one I just got out. This ain't no done new car. It's the same junk I just had.
That's right. That's right.
You know, he knew we weren't stupid.
Yep.
I'm gonna let a white man come on and tell me something better when it's the same junk I've been had.
That's right.
He already know part of our problem, part of these people's situation where they looked at this junk is too small.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, look at that, huh? Why would he tell them about he gonna take them somewhere larger and better? Because they looked at this is the worst condition. This is some of the worst human conditions. They're like what you in now. But he can't come help you like Josh said, because you still bragging about the airport and the Ferris wheel downtown. So he'll go to some more people.
That's right. That's right.
He bad at it. That's what Apostle Josh said. Man, can't believe he can't write the kind. He heard someone here on talking, man, we got the number one airport. He's like, I gotta go somewhere else. They talking about that Ferris wheel. But to be honest, do you see what all that, and they're like, you know, you shouldn't be complaining. You should be content with whatever the Lord give you. Why would he offering them, why would he talking about taking them somewhere bigger?
That's right.
Why was he talking? It only makes sense if it was too small. And it couldn't be too small because he said it. It had to be that they had to see their condition.
Yep.
You tell me you just going to come on, and because you say saved, I'm going to say, yeah, I want to be saved. I'm going to want to be saved because I'm agreeing to what you're saying. I already been looking at it that way. I already been saying this has been a problem and an issue. That's the only way you're going to come and offer me somewhere bigger, somewhere better, because I already don't like where I'm at. I'm always somebody to be saved and happy with where they at. Waste of time. Waste of time. It couldn't have been happy with that. But white people done told you, you just supposed to be content with what you got. These people were complaining about this situation. They're not complaining about Mr. Yahuwah and how Mr. Yahuwah worked. They're complaining about this situation.
That's right.
Listen what else.
Unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites.
What happened?
Now therefore, behold, the cry of the Bnei of Yasharal is come unto me.
Yeah.
And I have also seen the oppression wherewith Mitzrayim oppressed them.
Listen.
Come now therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the Bnei of Yasharal, out of Mitzrayim.
What happened, Brandon?
And Moshe said unto Elohim,
He said, I'm ready to go. Thy servant heard thee.
Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the Bnei of Yasharal out of Mitzrayim?
What happened?
And he said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Mitzrayim, ye shall serve Elohim upon this mountain. And Moshe said unto Elohim,
What did he say?
Behold, when I come unto the Bnei of Yasharal,
They going to be so happy.
and shall say unto them, The Elohim of
They
your
stuff
Abbas
already going to be packed, Brandon. They be sitting at the gate talking about, whoa, what you been waiting on? What happened?
hath sent me unto you. And they shall say to me,
What they gonna
What
say?
is his name? What shall I say unto them?
You know what, Brandon? I don't care what they call him. I just love him. It don't matter what they call him. They can call him boo-boo. I just love him. His name ain't important. How many of y'all done heard that before? I don't care what. It don't matter. Why is it going to be a concern?
Yep.
Why is it going to be a concern? Why did we let these people induce us with this psychosis of it ain't important? Like they tell us now, y'all calling, y'all, Yahweh, y'all, whatever. Do he saved? That's all I want to know. You're in a condition, he heard he finna come get you. And this your concern? Gotta be some important. Gotta be more important than what people done told us over the course of time. White people got you to buy into that. I guarantee they ain't gonna let me call Abraham Lincoln by no, George Washington by no other name. By no Aubrey name and no other name. They gonna tell me that's not the name of the father of their country. They gonna want respect for that name. They ain't gonna let me call Thomas Jefferson by no other name either.
That's right.
Every writer of that Constitution, they ain't gonna be acknowledged for who they are because they wrote it.
Yup.
And they want them acknowledged and by their name.
That's
He wants to be acknowledged by his name.
That's right.
And he realized he knew us. Musha said, I ain't even been with that long. I know how they are. They gonna want to know what's your name. Huh? That went along with our deliverance. We got the name. It's time for us to be getting up out of here. Huh? Before they left, they want to know what was his name. Before they go. They want to know. He know. He looked at, listen, he ain't jumped down quick. You said I be good boy. Oh, I good nigga. I run down there. I do hardwood floor. I do everything. I pick all kind of cotton. You know, before he run down there, they ain't that type of people. They gonna want to know what's your name.
That's right.
These people just don't move like that.
That's right.
White people got away. We've been jumping across from Buddha to everybody else, all these different names, all this other stuff. Done made a mess out of us.
Yep.
He done made a mess out of us. Pick me up at 4 and 20 of that same book. Who Allah Shamu, 4 and 20. Listen to the book.
And Mashal took his Ashah and his Beni and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Mitzrayim.
Yeah.
And Mashal took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahuwah said unto Mashah, when thou goest to return into Mitzrayim, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahuwah, Yashral is my ben, even my firstborn.
What happened?
And I say unto thee, let my ben go, that he may serve me.
Yeah.
And if thou refuse to let him go,
Then what happened?
behold, I will slay thy ben.
Y'all see that? That's it. That's it. Listen.
Even thy firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass by the way in the inn that Yahuwah met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her ben and cast it at his feet.
What's the thing?
And said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Yeah.
So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision.
Yeah. Listen.
And Yahuwah said to Aharon, go into the wilderness to meet Moshe. And he went and met him in the mount of Elohim and kissed him.
Yeah.
And Moshe told Aharon all the Dabarim of Yahuwah who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him.
Mm-hmm.
And Moshe and Aharon went and gathered together all the elders of the Beni of Yasharal.
What happened?
And Aharon spake all the Dabarim which Yahuwah had spoken unto Moshe.
Yeah.
And did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and when they heard that Yahuwah had visited the Beni of Yasharal, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped.
Not just listening to what he was just telling us, the fact that we needed a name and we needed information that were prevalent to salvation. And we had to believe it. That's what happened when he came. He told Aharon everything that Yahuwah told him, which means he taught him. He told him when he go back, see that you do everything just after the pattern I showed you in the mount. He gave this man a pattern that he knew and that he understood, which means when he came to his Aki, he had to make sure he understood the pattern he was shown. And when they took the Zakan, the elders would have made sure they understood. And when they understood, guess what they did? They believed. They believed. And they shakal, which is worship. We have to look at where our problem lies at. Making sure we properly understand that he's sending us a deliverer to get us out of him. We're going back, look, make sure you do all things just after the pattern I showed you in the heart. The same thing we got to do. We got to pattern the same behavior. We got to pattern what got these people to a point that he heard them, that he came down to deliver them. Huh? What did they have to know in order for them to be delivered? First of all, they didn't even know his name. Let's see something. 10 and 1. Who know what I want? Romans. Romans 10 and 1. Listen to the book. Romans 10 and 1. Well, I tell you what. Make it 10:13. Romans 10:13. Listen.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah, Yahusha shall be saved.
Y'all hear that? It says, we'll say Adonai.
Adonai.
It would say Adonai. Whosoever, it said call upon the name of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
You agree with that, Brandon? Would you agree with that? Adonai? I mean, tell me, Brandon.
I don't know if I would pronounce it like that, but yes.
Oh, how would you pronounce it?
When you say Adonai, you're really saying my Lord, like my master.
My man.
Right. You could just say the Adon.
The Adon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the Adon. All right, now listen.
The Adon.
A-D-A-N.
Yes, sir.
A-D-A-N. Listen.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Adon shall be saved.
Okay.
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
See that? Uh-oh. How then should they do what?
Call on him in whom they have not believed.
So what are we looking at with them? What he said he saw there, what did he saw? What did he hear? They'll cry, but they didn't even know the name. Because here just told her whosoever shall call upon the name of him shall be saved. So it's going to be important for them anyway to know the name. So you can be afflicted, you can see your affliction, and you can cry, but it's going to be important. You're going to need to know his name. Because here you hear him, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord. Were they delivered when they were crying? Were they delivered when they were afflicted? So it was important for them to have to know the name. And he would have came down, he would have taught them the name. But whosoever shall call upon the name of the Adon shall be
saved.
But he asked the question. How
Then
shall they call
on him
in whom
they have not believed.
the problem we're going to find right here is the book just told you they didn't believe it after they seen the sign.
Mm-hmm.
That after he taught them.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? So we can see part of the reason why you sit that long in your situation. He just told you then, but whosoever shall call upon the name of the Adon shall be
Saved.
But he asked you a question. How then shall they call upon him?
In whom they have not believed.
So they believed again? It just told you, after he taught them, after they saw the sign, the book said they what? Believe and they should call, which is worship. They worship. How should they do what after that?
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
So when the Zakan said and they believed, they needed to hear something. That's why he had to tell them everything he heard when he was in the mount. He had to show them everything that he was shown in the mount. They had to see the signs and the wonder in order for them to do what? To believe. What else is that?
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
Without somebody to proclaim. That's what Mushada came down to do. He would come down to proclaim to them. All this had to happen. Y'all all right? All this had to happen. That they had to know the name. They had to know what happened so they could believe. And they had to have somebody proclaim it to them. All this had to happen for them. How did white people set us up on the plan of salvation and we didn't have a name?
Right.
How did people set us on the plan of salvation when we didn't even know what we believed?
Right.
We didn't even believe.
That's right.
We didn't have the name. We didn't believe. We ain't had nobody even proclaim it to. All the preachers they gave us was taught in these white school seminaries.
Yep.
Taught by slave masters. The purpose of it would be to keep us off. To misinform us. It just kept crying. It just stayed in their affliction. And he'd watch, but you couldn't be delivered. He could see the importance of why all your children got to be taught of me. All of them got to be taught of me. Everybody got to be taught of me. Huh? It's bad. This is bad. Let's see what happened at 6:44. Your Ukanan. Your Ukanan, 6:44. Y'all hang in there. I'm going to try to get y'all through. I know I went on my Black Power rant, y'all will call it. You're going your slave nigga rant, or you'll be clocking right back in.
That's right.
I'm powering up and you charging down. It's rough out here when you got to make your own way now.
That's right.
They don't realize when enough of us get together and support each other, we can do this. They ain't supposed to tell you they're doing it. We bounce off each other. We bounce off each other. We can do it. Enough of us bounce off each other. We can do it.
That's right.
Y'all don't, man, tell you something. We run our monies among us and make things happen. We can build up where you don't need these crackers like you
Yeah,
think you need.
that's right.
It got to start somewhere. You don't have enough. One person try to do it by themselves, everybody going to take from you.
Yeah.
You got to build up. We build up ourselves. And how we do, we build up ourselves to set it up to make it happen. And we push to make it happen. A lot of stuff y'all don't realize you do. You do it through enough of us and make it happen. You can build up where we can all get to a place you can take everybody up out. I don't know what they done. Let's say. All right, let's see what happens. Listen.
No
This is
east can-
6:44. Your Ukanan, they call John. Listen to the book.
No east can come to me,
Except what?
except the Abba which hath sent me draw him.
See that? Except the Abba which has sent me,
Draw him.
draw him. And what happened?
And I will raise him up at the last yom.
No east can come unto me except the Abba which has sent me, draw him. Y'all see that? And I'll raise him up when?
At the last yom.
How long were we in Mizraim?
430.
Oh, yeah. And the book talking about in that self-same yum he brought us out.
That's right.
That was the last day. He was counting time. I did the last day y'all been. He was bringing us up. He was drawing us up. What happened?
It is written in the Nabi'im,
It was written in the Nabi. Then what happened?
and they shall be all taught of Elohim.
Same pattern. Nobody never got to him without information. Nobody. Nobody never got to him without information. Nobody. Somebody had to teach you. Somebody had to instruct you in this way. Got to. It's got to happen like this. It's got to happen like this. It's needful for us to get this and get it right. And these white people know exactly what they were doing. They don't read our book enough to know how to play with it, know what they got to do. It ain't been hard to keep us away from it. We ain't had no teacher. We ain't had no information. We ain't had no name. It ain't been hard. That's how he able to defeat. That's why a white man looks so glorious over us. And right, he played with a pair of deck of cards. He won't let me pick them. Huh? That's just being honest. Everything I played with, he done gave it to me. He always been the dealer, and I've been the sucker on the other end of it. He won't let me own no slot machine, let him put his money and pull it down and see if he wins.
Nope.
He got a machine, I stick my money, I got to hope and pray for 4 apples.
Right.
3 plums.
Right.
6 bananas. No, he ain't finna get no 6 bananas.
That's right.
The real at the zoo don't get 6 bananas at one time. Hey, man, I'm messing me up bad, man. And then after a while, I just call it, I'm just unlucky. I ain't unlucky. You playing, you done got me, you deceived me. Just like Cool say, you deceived me. Everything got that man deceived me and everything. Contract could deceive me. I come back and say, hey, man, trying to call about this lifetime. They said, did you read? You're like, what? You start, it don't come clear to the white man walk you back through it. Just say it. And guess what would have happened? I'd have never signed if I'd have known it. So what's the key?
See.
Huh? That's the key right there. Because what I just said, had I known it, I'd have never signed it. That's why I wrote it that way. Just like this book. Had I known it, I'd have never let this cracker run on me the way he did all this time. That's just being honest. You're entering the contract with him. That stuff you find out there like the license, privilege. All these folks do video. You ain't got to sign. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that. Man, tell us a privilege that when you get these license, you enter into a contract that you said you will accept all tickets. How many of y'all didn't know that? When you got your license, when you sign for your license, you sign into a contract agreeing to accept all tickets. And I'm arguing with this cop about his job and what kind of citizen I am. How many people knew that would have signed for a license? I think you said, I need to look at this again. Because you start agreeing into so many things. I just used that one small premise, but you signed how many contracts over the course of your life? For a loan, for other credit card. Nobody read that stuff. You see 0% interest for 24 months. 1.99 if you do all year. That's what you're looking at. You ain't looking at, and then the people see you back start saying, your stuff changed. You throw it in the trash. They just keep shooting you pay with it. The cracker got it right. Listen, you say him something and tell him you changing something. How many of y'all done signed got credit cards? How many of y'all, you sign, how many of y'all read that paperwork? How many of y'all looking at that interest rate? How many of y'all have gotten letters folded, scrapped from your credit card, shooting you, telling you, informing you that some stuff have changed on your, and you don't read it? Yeah. So you tell me I signed a contract that say you can change it at any time, but I can't see you nothing changing this written document.
Right.
How am I win with that?
Can't win.
So the paper that we wrote up, this ain't no good. How am I win in a game like that?
Can't win. You can't win.
I'm coming with some paper where they'll tell me, if you drop down the line, flip over in the back. I didn't even know something was on the back of it. Somewhere where you ain't even got no business looking. You're a peeping Tom if you read some of this stuff on him. How am I win like that? That you can send me something, I'm going to need a magnifying glass to read, that you constantly send me something every month saying, these are the new agreements. You're like, no, I don't have time to read that stuff. And don't realize you better, they send it for a reason. When I pull the okie doke on you, nigga, I'm going to say, we sent you a mailer out on Sunday. You're like, what? Huh, what? The lock you in the chain, everything. You used to could. We changed that. White people always set themselves up to where they have the ability to change. Your mortgage company can change stuff. Everybody you sign a contract can change something except for you. You think that's fair?
It's not fair.
How am I win? You're right. It ain't fair. Then I sign some document and I'm thinking I can hold you to something, but in your document, it says you can change some stuff. That at any time you can come back and you can do something. How am I going to win? When does this anytime pop up? When? Oh, you don't have to worry. It's rare we ever do. And I'm still signing. Because they pretty much leave you. Listen, that's a lot of called predatory. You got me on a closing table finna buy a house. You know me and my family need a house. We've been talking about how we've been praying about that house. I know this the one he gave. Right. I'm sitting here and I find some of these documents I asked you about, and it's contingent upon if I don't sign, I don't get the house for my family. This is predatory. Right. Yeah. You got me stuck. I already got my stuff packed. We moving out the park. I get them people my notice. Yep. Yep. And you got me at the table finna sign some paper when I just read some of my cart and it's questionable. Yep. And I'm stuck with I'm finna move out this apartment, move out this house, and these people got somebody coming in here and you saying, listen, all I can tell you is don't sign. Who not finna sign? They got their family, they finna be put out. Who not finna sign? Even if who not finna, they stick us like this all the time. How you gonna win? How many of y'all are still signing your family you finna get put out? Guess what? We ain't the only one. That's why I gotta teach y'all, because crackers stick us all the time. Not stuff you won't catch it till it's too late. They always stick you. They know you get that car, you in a hard time, you want to get it. You gonna float something, move something, do something. I know, nigga, and I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna hit you with some changes later. Don't ever be late. You just forfeited. Listen, a lot of stuff you get, if you miss them deadlines of paying, you just forfeited that percent, and some of them, they can go back and charge you the regular rate from the time you got the card. These crowd keep so many trap up, man. Listen, this is why I gotta educate our people. Why we gotta be. Nobody. When did we ever go to church? These people told us this. Credit card. Nobody talk about that. You come for Jesus. Jesus have been manipulated. Why? Listen, you don't talk politics. You don't talk money. But they talk give, give, give. Oh, give it in. Ain't no time to talk money now. See what I'm saying? People use it at their discretion when it's convenient for them. Nobody never teach you nothing to help you. All right. Trying to help y'all out now. Come on, we'll finish this up. I'm going to tell y'all. It's written in the Nabaim that they should all be taught up. We already read that? 645? Yeah, Romans. What that, Romans?
He was at Romans.
Yucana. What's that, Yucana?
I thought he was at Romans.
645? I had to get them back on there. They thought I got old. 644. Listen, we had no ish.
Can come to me.
Except what?
The Abba which has sent me draw him.
Can I ask you a question? You remember what he told Musa when he told him it was going to be a opt to them? What was it? Do you remember what it was?
When he said it would be a sign.
Yeah, he said this is going to be an opt to them, a sign. You remember what he told them what it was going to be? Who remember what it was?
You will come and worship on this mountain. And
what did you just read, he said?
No man can come to me except the Abba which has sent me draw him.
How are they going to come? Now they going to know the sign. They got to be taught. You got to teach them to bring them down. That was going to be the sign they've been taught. You know to the right place. Are they going to be, listen, it's predicated for us to know this. These people don't try to tell us we don't need no stuff. Don't make sense. They had to know stuff before they left there. See, once we get to the Lord, we'll know all that stuff. Listen, man, it's stuff you're going to know before you can get to him. You're going to know this. He just said they can't come to him except the Abba will send him to do what?
Draw him.
Draw him. And what he going to do?
And I will raise him up at the last yom.
Just like in Mizraim, you ain't believe what happened. You know, people were dying that day. He raised them up. People were dying. He raised them up. Got them out of there. Everything in there was dead. He raised them up. Y'all listen, at midnight, that was a cry. That was it. Listen, folks were dying. Dead bodies were everywhere. He raised them up. So it was needful for them to be taught before all that happened. See, it's a destruction coming on their plate. This is another Mizraim for you, baby. So that's why we need to know that when he get ready, he start killing these dirty crackers, dirty Oriental, dirty Mexican, dirty everybody, and dirty niggas. He going to be raising us up, getting us out of here.
That's right.
But we're going to need to know the name.
That's right.
We're going to need to know where we got to go, where we got to be. A lot of this stuff going to be prevalent for salvation. He just said they can't do it. Tell them what he told them, Brandon, what's written.
It is written in the Nabaim.
What happened?
And they shall be all taught of Elohim.
You know what everyone in the Nabaim realized? It wouldn't make sense to tell you nothing different because Musa, but one that they knew and they revered, and Musa taught them. Musa taught them. The Zakan, them, they all knew it. The people had to know it. How did they know where they were going? They had to have something to be tangible. We need something tangible we can hold on to. We got to have something. We got to see something. When they came to me, you know what they told him? We seek a what? I'm just believing. Man, I need to see something.
Come on.
When that man came, he showed us signs.
That's right.
2-1, Abarim. Now these folks make no fool out of y'all. Everything with Elohim is not invisible. 2-1. Abarim, they call Hebrews. Listen to the book.
Therefore, we ought to give the more earnest heed
To the things.
which we have heard.
So he came down and told them people, guess what they did? They had to get them more earnest heed. How did they believe? They were paying attention. First of all, we don't know the name. We knew about we were supposed to be saved. Like weren't we told we were supposed to be saved? Y'all heard that before, ain't it? But you need a name. You need to know something about it. You need to see something working for you. Come on, folks, listen.
Lest at any time
We do what?
should let them slip.
For if the what?
The bar spoken by Malachi was steadfast.
So that was Mushah saw when he was on the mount. Malachi actually came and appeared unto him. Listen what happened.
In every
You
transgression,
say every what now?
transgression,
And
disobedience,
do what?
received a just recompense of
You
reward.
know what I'm going to tell you? See that you do all things after the pattern I showed you in the mount. Make sure you do everything just like I showed you in the mount. Every transgression. That's why he would come down to kill Mushah. Every transgression, because he was disobedient. Why would you not do it? I just showed you in the mount what I'm going to do. How?
Shall we escape
If we neglect.
so great salvation?
This is a great thing. I gotta get it now. I gotta get this information. It's prevalent in my salvation. It's prevalent in my deliverance. It's necessary for me to know this. Which at the first.
Began to be spoken by the Adon
And was confirmed
unto us
by them
that heard him.
I couldn't imagine what he could have did. Elohim also.
Bearing them witness,
Both with what?
signs and wonders.
I ain't never seen that before. I ain't never heard that before. Got to. Had to show them so they can believe. I'm telling y'all, these people, listen, all this stuff got to come down. That's why I need y'all to watch the news. White people exposing themselves. They can't hide. You know, we realize it's been bad for white people.
Yeah.
White people, listen, it done got to a point now they can't even hold it in.
Can he hold it in?
One time we'd have never heard them say, listen, trifling, listen, disrespectful to each other. Listen, everything they taught us about not doing, we seeing white people do it. He's showing us, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge. We got to teach our kids that song. That song for our Marine. Let them say, we to take it down. Remember that? It's coming down. Teach your kid that the best London Bridge is falling down. Teach them every morning.
That's right.
Tell them all that coming down on.
That's
it's
right.
coming down. He said, Elohim also bearing them witness both with what?
Signs and wonders.
And that was what?
Miracles and
what?
gifts of the Ruach HaKodesh
According to what white man?
to his own will.
That's what I'm standing on. According to his own will.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that right? It's a beautiful way.
Yes, sir.
So the written in the Naviim that we all had to be taught of it. It goes on with the pattern. The people got to live, they were taught of it. Therefore they heard and learned. You don't believe what they do. They just like them. Everybody that was taught up, they came to worship down in that mountain.
Yes, sir.
Everybody was taught up, that's a sign.
That's right.
And that's what we're seeking signs now. We got the name. We're working on this information, getting this thing right. Our deliverance on the way.
Come on.
I
Yes,
just
sir.
thought you just prayed and called it, come get me. Say, it don't make sense, Chris. How you going to call it? You didn't even believe.
That's right.
How you going to believe? You hadn't even heard.
That's right.
I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
That's right.
White folk done told it don't matter, name don't matter. They got nigga preachers telling the same thing. It do matter. That's what they want to know.
That's right.
Ain't that right? Whatsoever things are written for a time, written for our learning, we through patience cover the scripture might have what? I'm not going to let these folks tell me the name ain't important. That's stupid. They own New Testament that they going to go along with. Even told you can't call them and you don't even know the name. Don't make sense. Told them you got to believe according to what? As the scripture has said. I got to go back to the scripture. So I'm starting to look at things. I'm looking at the idea. Pick me back up ahead of your code. 5 and 12. We're going to try to get through, wrap this up for y'all. I know I took us some time trying to get y'all out of here. I had that Matthew chapter 9, 2 and verse 3. Some kind of way I got to work all this in and get y'all out. This is Jacob, they call James chapter 5. We left out 13, 14.
Verse 13.
13. See how 13 took us all off, Brandon? Because I think he told me, any among them afflicted?
Any among you afflicted,
Do what?
let him Palal.
Then we see what happened with that. Guess what happened is in their affliction, guess what it yielded them? It yielded them to get the name. It yielded them to get the information. It yielded them to get acknowledgement. See, we got to stop sitting around here bragging like Apostle Josh tell her about the airport and that Ferris wheel. Huh? We got to stop it. It's hurting us. We could be gone. Josh told my preacher, finally coming over. Listen.
Is any merry?
Do what?
Let him sing Tahalim.
See that? Y'all don't do that. Why y'all don't sing Tahalim? But I guess the reason why y'all don't be married. Listen. Somebody be Mary Poppins. Listen.
Is any sick among you?
I wanted that. I made it funny. You stop. I made it funny. Not it ain't over the Dabarine, but because I'm thinking about Snoop Dogg now. Why they be singing? Because they be Mary Poppins. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. They be singing. Listen, people, go home, pray on it before you just criticize. Y'all gotta be taught of your hood. Y'all gotta be taught of me too. Think about it. Any one of them married, they supposed to sing Tahalim. So them guys are Mary Poppins. They pray for that. Are y'all saying? I don't like this. Nothing's good gonna come out of this. That's wrong. Y'all made me do this. That's just wrong. Listen to the book.
Is any sick among you?
Do what?
Let him call for the elders of the assembly.
And do what?
And let them Palal over him,
anointing
him with oil in the name of the Adon.
What happened?
And the prayer of Amunah shall save the sick.
You see that? Well, that's something we got to work on too. Yeah. No, years ago, amazing, we ain't have information. But amazing when kids were sick, they would get the older people who had the knowledge about different things that we need. Some of these folks, remember that the older, they ain't getting nobody young, no kid coming in and getting away. They would go and seek the counsel of the older people about what to do about them sick. And that stuff carried us through Benny Dollar.
That's right.
I'm telling y'all now. I'm trying to tell you. So maybe they're from the country, before they're from the remember stuff like that. They would go to the older people because they would know what to do. See, they kept the name away from it. See, it wasn't that they weren't acknowledged. He just couldn't help us because we didn't have the proper information. It's kind of like going to, I remember one time I went to a place. I was trying to get something done. Now, my information was right. I didn't have the right name for what I was trying to get done. And finally, I kept going with the man. I said, listen, I'm really not trying to irritate. Some of them followed me. And I was like, I'm really not trying to irritate you, but I really got somebody to come out of the gap. They were trying to figure it out. I was like, I was trying to tell the guy, he said, I know what you're trying to do. This is the name. Once I told him I was trying to do, listen, everything just went stepping. Let's move. This is what you do. But when you don't know, it's critical because it can leave you on a standby. Now, I was honest, ignorant. Got me? I didn't have the proper name of what I was trying to do. But if some people in here with me, am I correct? Once I knew what it was, I could explain, just like them. They could explain they want to be saved now. Because it's how I've seen them. They can explain, I'm hurting, I don't like it, it's too small, I want to get out. I don't have a name. I don't know what to call this, what I'm trying to get. You know what I'm saying? Yes, so now I can explain the process somewhat of what I want, but I don't know what you call it. Y'all know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know what you call it. So it's important for them to know the name. Then it was important for them to really understand how the process works.
Right.
Huh? Now, since you have the name, I need to make sure you're taught how all this works and what it entails, okay?
Right.
Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
So this is how salvation works for us. He felt told it, means you call it, boom, there goes salvation. Y'all hear me? This is what people done did for us. But now we're really trying to see this thing for what it's worth so we can get out this situation we in. Listen, this is what we call a hellified situation. Yeah. I don't care if you got money in your pocket. This is a hellified situation. Because your thing, you ain't going to have money in your pocket always, not in this system. It's just that white people on the phone either going to have it or going to have access to it. And you're going to want and you're going to be the person envious. Nobody's envying you. They afflicted you enough that white people don't have to put their eyes on you. Used to be a time white people come, white people, back time, you know, they would ask old black folk to pray for them.
Yep.
Because you know why, too? Why they look, even though you have that, they knew that there was a difference between me and you. Now they know that nigga just like that nigga tell a lie in a minute.
Yep.
That nigga a child molester, a hypocrite, a drunk, and everything else you can call him.
That's right.
Nobody respects you anymore than envy. They used to look and say, you know what? I always admired you for your integrity.
Yep.
White older people, listen, they used to look to these old black. It was some folk they respected now.
That's right.
A lot of them ain't grow up in the country. I used to hate the country, but a lot of stuff I learned from down there. There's some white folks respect it. Like, those people had integrity. You have no integrity. You'll do what they do. You'll lie, you'll cheat, you'll steal, just so you can be where these crackers at. So now people don't envy you no more. Don't you know why them folk deliver Yahusha? Because of envy.
That's right.
We always dealt with people being envious of us.
Yep.
Man, they had nothing. Had to borrow ass to ride around on.
Yep.
Man gonna sit down have a dinner, he gotta borrow a room.
That's
How
right.
you envy somebody like that? Because he had integrity.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That's what I'm trying to put back in. Y'all get some integrity.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, I use these son of a what they were. They need a lie told, you tell it.
Right.
Hey, any of my partner I deal with, they don't see me do it.
That's right.
You enjoy yourself. This is your world. I'm just saying it. I do just like Yahushua told me. I made me friends of the man of unrighteous.
Yep.
I fall, they receive me everlasting habitation.
That's right.
You need these people. You got to know how to use them. Make things work for your benefit. Right. You always been doing stuff. They've been a benefactor. You've been the one that for getting the benediction.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Stupid self.
Yeah.
Everybody make a fool out of you. Everybody get paid off you. Why you can't make nothing off other people? Listen to the book.
And the Adon shall raise him up if he have committed sins.
If he did what now?
And if he have committed sins,
Tell me what happened, man.
they shall be forgiven him.
Let me hold what you got. 623. He don't hear something. Y'all mind right quick? Y'all heard what he just said? 623 Romans. And then you going to hold that and pick me up back at that 10, 10-6. Romans. This is Romans 6:23. Listen to the book.
For the wages of sin is death.
What did you say, Brandon, at your code? Chapter 5:15? What, that 15?
Yes, sir.
What did it say?
And if he have committed sins, they shall be forgiven him.
What did you say at 6:23?
For the wages of sin is death.
You pick me up if you would, kind sir. At the book of Romans 10 and about 5. Listen to the book.
For Mushah describeth the Sadiq, which is.
I said, is that an Aubrey word? Striker? I said it. What you good with that? The man said he's Striker. Did y'all, who heard that? I was saying myself, is that a Striker?
Y'all can't hear.
Who can't hear? Who heard Striker? Who heard described? Nobody heard described. What were you thinking? You think you just come and do what you want to do? I heard that when he said, I said, is that Aubrey? Scriber? I was like, I didn't know where it went. I was like, I was so afraid.
That's English.
Terrible English. English don't want it. They like, no, that's not ours. Let's go. So Mushah, Scriber, describe.
For Mushah describeth the Sadiq,
Just
which
describe, man. No, go ahead. Describe
the Sadiq, which is of the law,
What did he say?
that the Ish with which does those things shall live by them.
See there he described the Sadiq, the righteousness of the law. That the Ish that does these things should do what now?
Shall live by them.
That's how you're going to live by them. So we're looking at the code 5:15. We're looking at 6:23 of Romans. For the wages of sin is death, and the gift of Elohim is eternal life, eternal Ka'id through Yahushua HaMashiach. So what we kind of went into a situation. Let's get this 9:3. Let's see how some kind of way. Let's see how Mr. Who see fit. Let me put all this together now. Let's look at something. Let's see what happens. Listen.
And behold, certain of the scribes said within themselves, this Ish blasphemeth. And Yahushua, knowing their thoughts, said, wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? For whether is easier, to say, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and walk? But that ye may know
that ye may know
that the men of Ish hath power on a rock to forgive sins.
So let me ask you a question. So in Job chapter 5, verse 15, he said about them, if any sick, let them call. Who that again they put to call? 5:14, Jacob, they call it James. Let's see, 5:14, what did he tell them?
Is any sick among you?
Do what?
Let him call for the elders of the assembly,
Call for the zakan of the assembly. And for what reason?
and let them palal over him,
Uh-huh.
anointing him with oil in the name of the Adon.
Wants to know that he ain't power, he authority, he give sin. Right. So what I guess kind of what we'll run into to kind of save some time, I guess. And just kind of listening to what they're saying. Because we got some situations kind of going here. Let me see something here. We were holding Barashit 2:16. Y'all supposed to hold that. Anybody remember that? 2:16? 2:16. Another word I need y'all to write down. W-I-R-T. W-R-I-T. Writ. W-R-I-T. Listen to the book.
And Yahuwah
This is
Elohim
Barashit, they call Genesis 2:16. And Yahuwah Elohim.
commanded the Ish, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
Y'all hear what he told him? He commanded him every tree of the garden thou mayest freely what?
Eat.
What?
But of the tree of the knowledge of Taub and Rasha thou shalt not eat of it.
Tell me what happened.
For in the yom that thou eatest thereof
What happened?
thou shalt surely die.
3:21 of that same book. Barashit, chapter 3. Make it verse 20. Listen to the book.
And Adam called his Ashah named Ka'ur, because she was the aim of all Kai.
Mother all living. What happened?
Unto Adam also, and to his Ashah did Yahuwah Elohim make coats of skin, and clothe them. And Yahuwah Elohim said, behold, the Ish is become as one of us,
What happened?
to know Taub and Rasha.
What happened? And
And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of Kai, and eat, and live forever. Therefore Yahuwah Elohim sent him forth from the garden of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken.
So what happened, the reason he couldn't take of this tree? What was prohibiting him? Anybody know what was prohibiting him from eating this tree?
Took him out of the garden.
What you call it? The law. The Torah. That's what forbid him from eating, the law. He was told that in 2:16, even before he had gotten the transgression. The law had already came along and already instructed he couldn't do it. We just told you what had happened. If he had ate of it, put his hand there, the man lived forever. So some impeded, caused him to where he couldn't eat of it. It's called a law. Now, what y'all need to learn, see if that 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 1 right quick. I guess I kind of help him a little bit just with him. Second Corinthians 12 and 1. We'll get to a close in a minute. Listen to the book.
Now concerning Ruach gifts, Akim, I would not have you ignorant.
Yes, 12 and 1. 2 Corinthians
2 Corinthians?
12 and 1. I did say second. I thought I wrote 1, but it's 2 Corinthians 12 and 1. He didn't want you to be ignorant concerning those either. Listen.
It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to Kabul.
What happened?
I will come to Kazun and revelations in the Adon. I knew an Ish in Mashiach above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell,
What happened?
or whether out of the body I cannot tell.
Who knows?
Elohim knoweth.
What happened?
Such an one caught up to the third Shamayim.
I guess why we kind of look at this one. And what did he do?
And I knew such an Ish, whether in the body or out of the body I cannot tell.
What happened?
Elohim knoweth. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable dabarim, which it is not lawful for an Ish to utter.
I guess I kind of look at this as kind of showing a different level. What we have what we have in your court system, I was kind of explaining some things to you guys before, how in your court system you have 3 levels. You have your regular judiciary court. These are your regular courts you go to, your superior courts, the traffic qualities right here. These are your regular district courts. You have your circuit court. You know, this kind of circuit that's made of either the stars, they call it cooker beams, and they call it the circuit. You know, some people call it the circuit. What the circuit court do, these are courts that actually can do appeal. These are courts you go to appeal lower court ruling. Then you have what's known as your superior court. The word that I taught y'all about before was certiorari. It's when a higher court sends down to a lower court to go over their ruling. Y'all got it? That's what they do. They call them and they go over their ruling to see whether or not it's right or not. What you also get is called a writ. This is a legal document, commandment. Amazing, a commandment. They use this in their legal terms to show what would they know about a commandment. What would they know about a commandment? Which will come in that can change or cause a stay. So typically when they do a certiorari, they're actually going to do a writ on it, which means they'll come in and they'll put a stay in or say something has changed. Y'all got it? And that's what we look at even when it came down to our people sitting in Mitzrayim. You know what I'm saying? See, they had some things that had been going on and happening, but we had a certiorari. Because Pharaoh was the higher ruling court that was there. But Mr. Yahuwah, he did a writ. And where he came in, he put a commandment, he changed it. He came and he changed it. See, even when you come down and look at what the law was, he done told you about it. If that's the best we're going to get out of Mushah law, then we're going to do a certiorari. We got to go back and we got to look at that thing. We didn't, he did. He had to come down and look at what needs to change. Well, he pulled a ruling of a lower court. We just heard, what were the ways of sin? What were the ways of sin? What were the ways of sin? But you read that if any sick among them, they're supposed to call for the zakan. And they were supposed to pray over them. And that's an added if they committed the sin. They were supposed to die. I say a writ was put in. A writ was put in. You're supposed to die. That's the law. But a writ was put in. See what happened with Mushah? Not only did the law come in and get him ousted, it got in the way he couldn't even get eternal life. He told you what happened. He said it put him out so he couldn't get it. So now we look at, there was no way the law could have even given you eternal life. You know, people say, I'm going to keep the law so I can be saved, I get eternal life. That wouldn't make sense. The law was never set to give eternal life because it wasn't even the fact that he even sinned. He couldn't have got it if he didn't sin. Because the order was not to touch it. Not to touch it, let alone eat it. So there was no probability. If I don't at least touch it, Brent, like sometimes you would touch something, kid. They got some diseases. He got a cold. I remember I touch it and do what? Catch a cold. I wasn't even supposed to come into contact. That's how far the law kept us from salvation. Y'all got me? So you see these words on here. These are Latin words. What do Latins know about commandment? Well, you can put a stay or a change or something. Kazum. $22 and 1. Before you give me that, let me pick me out right quick. Say that 19 and your Ukanan, chapter 19 right quick. Your Ukanan. Chapter 19. Make it in 3. Listen to the book.
And said, Hail, Malak of the Yahudim. And they smote him with their hands. Pilate therefore went forth again and saith unto them, Behold, I bring him forth to you, that ye may know that I find no fault in him. Then came Yahushua forth, wearing the crown of thorns, and the purple robe. And Pilate saith unto them, Behold the Ish. When the chief Kohanim, therefore, and officers saw him, they cried out, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. Pilate saith unto them, Take ye him and crucify him. For I find no fault in him.
What happened?
The Yahudim answered him, "We have a law, and by our law he ought to die, because he made himself the ben of Elohim." When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he was the more afraid, and went again into the judgment hall, and saith unto Yahusha, "Whence art thou?" But Yahusha gave him no answer.
You said, what did Pilate ask?
"Whence art thou?" But Yahusha gave him no answer.
Who know I asked that? Don't worry about it. Thank you. Oh, cool. Huh? Cause of court? I said, who know why I asked him that? That's your law. You got to have more than one witness. I'm just trying to repeat this. Don't worry about it. This thing. What happened?
Then saith Pilate unto him,
Yeah.
"Speakest thou not unto me?
Listen.
Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee,
Yeah.
and I have power to release thee?"
Listen.
Yahusha answered, "Thou couldst have no power at all against me.
You said what happened now?
Thou couldst have had no power at all against me,
Except what?
except it were given thee from above."
From the superior court. From the Supreme Court. See, what y'all don't get, the Yahudim law, they was on the lower court. That's all they were. Pilate was the appeal court. That's why they took him now. When he sent him back down to the lower court, they was just bouncing him around from lower court to higher court. That's all they were doing with him. But he let him know that the superior court, Supreme Court, had the final ruling. So like, y'all don't realize how these people stole everything from you, huh? What do you think the purpose of why they sent him up? Even Shaul tried to tell you that how they said to let him go, but he appealed to Caesar, because Caesar was the supreme ruler. A lot of stuff y'all don't know cracker steal from y'all. Listen, y'all like to think y'all smarter than me. Y'all don't know nothing. You're on a job. I know you don't know no job. You get a lunch break from that cracker. You get a break from that cracker. You get your days off from that cracker. That cracker gonna throw everything you think, gonna keep you so wide he don't want you to think about. He done stole everything he got from us. Why you think they would be sending that man back and forth to these different courts? And then learning what jurisdiction to send a person back to. They already know where you try certain stuff at and where you try certain stuff. He realized the only person got to find a rule is Supreme Court. Supreme Court gonna look at what's constitutional. Huh? What's law? What's commandment? What can be changed? They can put a writ in. They can put a stay on something, or they can say, no, we're gonna change that. Y'all all right? That's not important for y'all though, is it? Hit me up at Revelation chapter 22, Kazum. They call it Revelation 22. I'll get y'all out of here. Been a good talk. This is 22. Let me say 10. Listen to the book.
Verse 10.
That'll be fine. I put 1. Listen.
And he saith unto me, seal not the sayings.
Let me hear what 22 on 1 says, since I said that.
And he shewed me a pure river of Maim of Kai.
Y'all hear what he did? He showed him a pure what?
River of Maim of Kai.
What's that, Nahar?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, listen.
Clear as crystal,
Clear as
proceeding out of the throne of Elohim
Yeah.
and of the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the Nahar was there the tree of Kai.
Y'all see that? On either side of it was the tree of Kai. Listen.
Which bare 12 manner of fruits,
What happened?
and yielded her fruit every yarik,
Listen.
and the leaves of the tree,
Well, for what?
the healing of the nation.
Listen what I'm talking about. Isn't that right? Even Yahuwah tried to get him to return to us so he could heal us. Listen.
And there shall be no more curse,
Listen.
but the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb shall be in it.
See that? No law is going to be working against us. We got cursing from breaking laws. Supreme Court going to come in and see what laws are actually valid for us. He the Supreme Court. Supreme Court going to come down, they're going to rule. When the Supreme Court get all these lowercase rules, a lot of us, listen, this is what people don't realize. You know how death come in from? Sin. So the fact he going to give you eternal life means that the Supreme Court has to come back, overlook these cases that's been tried, that's been sentenced, and they're going to overturn verdicts. That's what they come down to do. Court's going to be in set. I know y'all don't know nothing because you ain't supposed to know it. This ain't nothing new. That's why I tell y'all to watch stuff. I want y'all to learn and just watch their system so you'll get a little understanding how his court works. These people that are in these grades are similar to people being in prison. Some of these people have been falsely in prison. When the court comes, he come down and he set the court up, that's what he's going to do. He's going to loose them. But you're going to have to understand law. You got to understand law. Okay, you got to understand law, you understand time. All this stuff you're going to need to know it. You're going to need to know it. Because this man's going to come down and he's going to do a writ. He's going to make a change. He's going to do a stay. Some of these people that are dead that's in there, stay. The writ going to do it. For those people you find wrong for the death, I'm going to bring you out. So we need more time. I can show you some cases there he already did a writ on. We'll use Daoud. Who know what he was charged with? Adultery. That's right, adultery. But in the book of Uyakra, I think it's the 20th chapter. See that 20 and 10 from right quick. Uyakra. Y'all work with me 1 second. Just 1 second if I can. Cause y'all need to learn. See, let me tell you, churches don't teach you that. The Hebrew, listen, when I say that by criticize, I'm only criticizing because I've been a part of the same madness. And you know what it becomes? You can't teach people when you don't know, and you can't get people to be free thinkers when you're still caged in your mind. I was caged in my mind. There's certain things you don't do at church. Certain things you don't do in a religious song. It's a time and place for everything. Like these crackers tell y'all about these protesting at these games. What are they going to do? They've been programmed to teach them that. At the sound of the clarinet, the sound of fruit, everybody put a stand for the flag. That's law. Don't get mad with white people. They tell you to do it. You play in their game. What you supposed to do? Do what they tell you to do. They pay you. Get your behind up. I ain't supporting it. I said niggas should have been sent down.
That's right.
Cracker don't pay me, I don't stand anyway. If he did pay me, he don't pay me to stand.
That's right.
But in their profession, you getting paid to obey your master.
That's right.
What's wrong with you? He been doing it to you. Now because he started to let you sit on TV, it hadn't changed your numbers. White people hadn't increasingly started killing black. The numbers never changed. It's just you hearing more of it now. More pressures coming you from people around you now. But you ain't doing that. You still get on the field playing. Don't play. That's how you get them. Don't play. Because, see, you see the kneeling ain't working. The game's still going on. So the cracker look, you still performing. You ain't changing nothing, nigga. You got to tell them we ain't playing. Enough of them get together, they can change the dynamics. Stop letting it be 4 and 5 and 6. All these niggas and all these crackers said they ain't racist, white people ain't racist. Why you not standing with us?
That's right. That's right.
Tell them like George Bush, you either with us or you with the terrorists.
That's right.
I don't know what you out there playing for. When these so-called Taliban and other folk were killing you, hell, I was over in the military serving trying to kill people for you.
Yep.
Now I'm getting killed over here and you said all bets off? They don't want to do. They don't want to talk. People don't want to talk reality, though. Time for a reality check. See that Uyakra, the 20th chapter, right quick. They call it Leviticus 20. 20, see about 8. I'm out here in the deep. Y'all with me? Other one, you're going to pick me up right quick and see if that. So I got to get out of here, but let's see how we do this. Uyakra. Listen to the book. 20 and 8. Other one, see right quick. See that Beth Shamuel. They call it 2 Samuel. See that chapter 12. And let me see 11. No, we'll probably come up. Make it 11 and 6. Listen to the book.
And ye shall keep my statutes and do them. I am Yahuwah, which consecrates you.
Listen.
For everyone that curseth his Abba or his aim shall be surely put to death.
Y'all hear that? Everybody that curses his Abba or his mother should do what?
Shall be surely put to death.
What happened?
He hath cursed his Abba or his aim.
Yeah.
His blood shall be upon him.
Yeah.
And the Ish that committeth adultery with another Ish's wife.
You said what?
And the Ish
that does what?
That committeth adultery with another Ish's Ashah.
What happened?
Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's Ashah.
What?
The adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
What did he say after that?
And the Ish that lieth with his Abba's Ashah hath uncovered his Abba's nakedness.
That's good. Let's see what happened over here. This is the 2 Samuel, they'll call it. Beth Shemuel, chapter 12, verse 6. Listen to the book.
And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Are we good where we at right here? Pick it up at 1 right quick. Come down. Let's just roll through it.
Yes, sir.
Let's listen to the story. Let's listen to the story. Listen.
And Yahuwah sent Nathan unto Daud, and he came unto him and said unto him, There were two Anashim in one city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich Ish had exceeding many flocks and herds, but the poor Ish had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and nourished up, and it grew up together with him and with his bani. It did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a bath.
Yeah.
And there came a traveler unto the rich Ish, and he spared to take of his own flock and of his own herd to dress for the wayfaring Ish that was come unto him,
What happened?
but took the poor Ish lamb and dressed it for the Ish that was come to him. And Daud's anger was greatly kindled against the Ish, and he said to Nathan, As Yahuwah liveth, the Ish that has done this thing shall surely die, and he shall restore the lamb fourfold,
Yeah.
because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to Daud, Thou art the Ish.
What happened?
Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharal, I anointed thee Malak over Yasharal,
Yeah.
and I delivered thee out of the hand of Shaul,
Yeah.
and I gave thee thy Adonai's house,
What happened?
and thy Adonai's Ashah
Yeah.
into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Yasharal in Yehuda. And if that had been too little,
What happened?
I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things.
Yeah.
Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of Yahuwah to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his Ashah to be thy Ashah,
What
and
did he took what?
has taken his Ashah to be thy Ashah,
Yeah.
and has slain him with the sword
Yeah.
of the Bani of Ammon.
Yeah.
Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house,
Yeah.
because thou hast despised me,
Yeah.
and hast taken the Ashah of Uriah the Hittite to be thy Ashah.
Yeah.
Thus saith Yahuwah, Behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house,
Yeah.
and I will take thy Ashah before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy Ashah in the sight of this Shamash.
Yeah.
For thou didst it secretly,
Well, what you
but I will do this thing before all Yashral
Yeah.
and before the Shamash.
What happened?
And Daud said unto Nathan,
Yeah.
I have sinned against Yahuwah.
You see that? He recognized that. He said, I done sinned against Yahuwah. What happened?
And Nathan said unto Daud,
What did he tell him?
Yahuwah also hath put away thy sin.
The wages of sin is death. What happened?
Yahuwah also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die.
Call a writ. You put a stay in. Sometimes governors will come in. They'll put, the book told about you don't believe before have government for being on your shoulder. You do know the governor can also cause for a stay.
That's right.
A stay of execution.
That's right.
You're supposed to execute. You're supposed to execute this right now. Him and her supposed to die.
That's right.
Yours just came down there, the government on his shoulder. What you gonna do when the government on his shoulder? What you gonna do when he is the superior court? What you gonna do when he do a certain aurora and he come in, he ask for the lower court's rule? Let me see that. A higher court subpoena or call in a lower court's opinion, and they look at it and they decide to put a writ in and say, I'm gonna put a stay on this. All that had to happen because I had to look at my condition. See, when I read the Bible, all I found was offenses. All of my offenses yielded the same reward, death. I did things according to what it said, I'm not even supposed to be living. I did things and I found out they were against Yahuwah. He said, you despise me in doing this thing. What you done? This is a mess, a complete mess. And if I yield the law on you, you're done. What I'm going to do is assert the aurora. Well, I'm going to call in the lower court's opinion. I'm going to pull it. I'm going to hire court. I can call a lower court. Lower court can't call a superior court, a court over them. Can't do it. The higher court can do it to them. Got it? So he has the right to call in, and he can change opinion. He can cause a stay, or he can say, carry it forth the Senate. Y'all got it? Now we find the law worked against this man. But we can see where Yahuwah, being who he is, can come back and look and overturn a verdict.
That's right. That's right.
Sometimes a lot of us, we've counted ourselves out.
Yeah.
But we didn't realize this is his way.
That's right.
And he set us in a system where Superior Court didn't overturn people. Nobody called the Supreme Court hypocrite or false because they've done it. Why Yahuwah false?
That's
Only
right.
he let you learn about the 3-court system so you understand his court system. That the Supreme Court can come in because they're the people that's supposed to be more knowledgeable of the Constitution. Therefore, when they sat down, they can know, you ain't believe what they sat down and do. They look back to interpret the intent of the fathers when they wrote. That's what the Supreme Court for. They want to decide whether we can do abortion, want to decide you can have gay rights. They go back and look at when the fathers wrote, what were the intent. Y'all got it? Now, I don't just know in law, looking back what intent. Who's going to know better what the father intent is than the son? Especially, I was with him when he did it. You got men that come on to interpretate. We're dealing with a man, I was with him when he wrote it. I was set up from everlasting. Huh? Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
So understand it doesn't make this so hard to believe concerning salvation, concerning moving or getting rid of penalty. He found this wasn't properly illustrated. This is a situation where it don't yield for that death for you. A punishment should be yielded, but not death. Yeah, the suffer, he said, the sword wasn't going to depart from his house. I still visit Nickel the Arbor well, upon the beneath. But I didn't impute death unto him. You got to suffer, but he done cut the man off from just what we'll look at as eternal life. Y'all got me? This stuff not hard that we see. How many have felt like you're in a state where you couldn't be saved? You read stuff that said you couldn't be saved. So explain to me about Daoud. Because according to what you just read in the book in the 20th chapter, the book said him and her supposed to die. Did she die?
Nope.
Did he die?
Nope.
And the Nabar came and told him that. Said, Yahuwah, put away your sin. You know why that got to be rent? And you ain't going to believe for what else. I got to have hope because I felt like that. I felt like that too. You know what Daoud would have said he's saying? According to your law, every malak had to have him a copy of the law. He already know what come with that. He know what come with that. He ain't say he's saying in that like, man, well, I know what's finna happen. I already know the law. See the difference? Y'all want to see another writ? Let's see. Come on down here and finish this 22nd chapter of the book of Chazon, they call Revelation. That's why you got to get over the fear of what these crackers do. I used to worry, oh man, you want that clean record so these crackers let you have, these crackers let you do. But these crackers themselves are criminals. You worry about trying to meet by laws and meet mandates by them. These folk done condemn Yahushua. How am I going to live with these crackers come and call me right? There's no way I live a better life than him. I don't even want in my mind thinking, this is what you worry about trying to be somebody with these crackers. Like he told them, these crackers ain't got nothing on me. Supreme Court got to get it to them. A lot of their own stuff been overturned. Most of our people, while we still sit in prison, simply because we don't know law. People don't know you can appeal. They're like Shaul, that's what part they hate about. He said, I was taught the law to defeat a Gamaliel. So I'm not stupid. I know when y'all make a sentence, I can appeal it. And he didn't just want to go with the circuit court that you call your district, your ninth circuit, your district court. He wanted to look at, I'm taking to the Supreme Court. I'm going to see Caesar. But you know the thing was, Yahushua already told him that.
Yeah.
When he appeared on, he told where he going to go. You got to go to see Malaks.
That's right.
These people you've been saying ain't nobody. You got to go to the Supreme Court.
That's right.
This thing you got going to have to be argued to the Supreme Court. And that's the first thing we do, run the fight. All our patriarchs went to jail. By cracker standard, they criminals. Yahoo went to prison.
That's right.
Y'all people stop it. Yahushua. These crackers notorious for putting us in jail. Our enemies always work to try to defame us. These folks always injure they know if I could get some of you to say you are a felon, you've been incarcerated, then they went to, hey, you haven't been arrested. That kill you now. Used to be a felon, convicted of felon. Now it's if you have been arrested. This is how cracker gets you, because that injures your reputation. That will stop you from ever doing anything or moving as far as you want to go. The fact you've been arrested. They don't ask you wrongful arrest. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, have you been arrested? Have you been arrested? That's all I asked. Disqualified. You ain't gonna win. It used to be felony, convicted of a felony. So you fought not to get convicted of a felony. Now they want to get in. They came back. Well, have you ever been arrested of a misdemeanor? DUIs can get you disqualified for certain jobs. Any misdemeanor arrest can get you. Now it's if you ever been arrested, you ain't gonna win. It ain't gonna be if you ever got a ticket. Have you ever breathed before? You ain't gonna win. These crackers always gonna make up something on you people. It was necessary we needed somebody to go over these courts. Now you can see why we had patriots out there withstood them. Hey, look, that you ain't got no authority over me. I look at the Supreme Court. I ain't talking about their court. I'm talking about his court. Huh? Here's this 22nd chapter, 22. Where we left out, verse 11?
Verse 3.
Verse 3? All right, come on, let's roll. Listen.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb shall it be
Put a
in
writ
it.
in. This ain't gonna be no more of that stuff. Listen.
And his servants shall serve him.
See that? Abidiyah. Listen.
And they shall see his panim,
Yeah.
and his name shall be in their foreheads.
Listen.
And there shall be no layla there, and they need no candle, neither light for the shamash, for the shamash, for the Adonai Elohim giveth them our and they shall reign forever and ever.
Yeah.
And he said unto me,
Y'all hear what they gonna do? How long they gonna reign?
forever and ever.
How long they gonna reign?
Forever and ever.
How long they gonna reign?
Forever and ever.
Listen.
And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and amat.
See that? They ain't going nowhere. Listen.
And the Adonai Elohim of the Kadash Nabaim sent his Malachi to shew unto his servants things which must shortly be done.
Let me ask you a question. What did Mushak go to do? Show them the signs and the wonders that he was getting ready to do before he take them out. I wonder what he was doing. What he was doing again? Listen.
And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and amat.
Listen.
And the Adonai Elohim of the Kadash Nabaim sent his Malachi to shew unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
Listen.
Behold, I come quickly.
And what happened?
Barak is he that keepeth the sayings of the Naba of this shofar.
Y'all hear that? Listen what happened. Behold, he do what now?
Come quickly.
And what happened?
Barak is he that keepeth the sayings of the Naba of this shofar.
You know what you want to think about that? Think about that coming quickly. Can you imagine that? Just coming on you real quick. Probably like when Mushak was riding back with his wife and with his son. And he popped up on him real quick. Because he told him, make sure you do all things after the pattern that I showed you in the mountain. He popped up on him just like that. You know what he was coming back to do? He was coming back to kill him. I don't really told you. Make sure now, y'all know, I know some of y'all get to start building a little time. You feel like you got a little comfortable. He popped up on him before he knew it. Had it been for his wife, he'd been in trouble. Don't worry about it. Listen to the book.
And
How many of y'all want to reign forever and ever? Reign forever and ever?
Right.
Listen.
And I, Yehukanan, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship at the feet of the Malachi, which shewed me these things.
What happened?
Then saith he unto me, see thou do it not.
Why?
For I am thy fellow servant, and of thy Aki, the Nabaim, and of them which keep the sayings of the Safar, worship Elohim.
Listen.
And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the Nabah of this Safar, for the time is at hand.
Mm-hmm.
He that is unjust,
Do what?
let him be unjust still.
See that? That's what he told him. He didn't say unjust, the time comes. Y'all hear that? If you're unjust, be unjust. Ain't gonna be too late for you to try to cover them doorposts. They come down there, when they came down, it was too late to change over and swap sides. When he came down, he would execute death on him in Mizraim. That's what he came down to do. He came down to execute judgment. When he came down to Mizraim, wasn't time for nobody to change. Listen, whatever your state was when he came down, that's what you was. You couldn't join it right quick. Tell me, hold on, got some pain fit do that now. You're done. You hadn't done it. Stay just like you are. The question already, he don't put a writ in. Stay like you are. Don't change. That's what he just told. Listen what happened. A writ been put in. Listen.
And he which is filthy,
Do what?
let him be filthy still.
You finna try to run change your clothes right quick. Oh. Just stay. I put a writ in. Just stay just like you are. Listen.
And he that is Sadiq, let him be Sadiq still.
See that? He that is just and be just still. Listen.
And he that is Kodash,
Right.
let him be Kodash still.
Dash. All right, listen.
And behold, I come quickly,
You see that? What happened?
and my reward is with me.
To do what?
Give to every each
According?
as his work shall be.
See that? I'm gonna give everybody according to their work should be. Listen.
I am Aleph and Tut,
Yeah.
the beginning and the end,
Yeah.
the first and the last.
What happened?
Barak are they that do his
You
commandments.
said do what now?
Barak are they that do his
He gonna
commandments,
bestow a gift upon them that do his commandment? Why?
that they may have right
I
to
said
the
rich.
tree of,
What did you say?
that they may have right to
I
the,
said rich. What did you say?
that they may have right
To what?
the tree of Kai.
Because you weren't supposed to get it, according to the law. According to your law, you weren't supposed to get it. But he come back, he said at quarter, he's going to do a 30 Aurora, and he's going to come in, and he's going to put in a writ where you're going to be able to get the tree. He just told you you're going to reign forever and ever. How you going to do that if you don't live forever and ever?
That's right.
That makes you a moron.
That's right.
You're going to reign forever and ever and you die? The only reason it's going to make sense for you to reign forever and ever, you're going to have to live forever and ever.
Right.
Which means you're going to have to eat of the tree.
Tree. That's right.
Well, the law said you couldn't do it.
That's right. That's right.
So he had to do a 30 Aurora. He had to put in a writ. That they may have a right.
To the tree of Kai.
Only way it's going to make sense to reign forever and ever. He been doing stuff that been fiction in your mind. Don't make sense. Somebody that died going to live forever and ever? Don't make sense. Y'all got it? That's good. Goodness.